All right, we are live. Good evening, everybody. Gotta start out with coffee. All right, so yeah, screen looks a little different. Screen looks a little bit different. We are not playing Hearthstone. We're not playing Magic. Not playing any card games tonight. Well, we'll see. We'll be getting a few cards tonight, but not in the way you're thinking. Yeah, we're going with Path of Exile. So, a couple things. Earlier today on my Facebook page, I put up a poll because I've been kind of thinking about potentially playing a few not card games. Just kind of branching out, and there's a few games that I really, really want to play, and just kind of gauging interest in one or the other, and it was pretty overwhelming, the response of play different games. Obviously, we'll still play Hearthstone and Magic a good deal, but I want to branch out, and tonight I'm branching out with my favorite game of all time. Probably, maybe even including WoW, the game that I've put the most time into. I haven't played it in about 6 months, and I'm extremely excited to get back into it. So real brief overview. It always feels weird to kind of do the intro right at the beginning, and we'll probably go right over it again when other people get in here. But basically, Path of Exile does it's a Diablo-like game for starters. You'll see that when we get into it, and yeah, they do leagues every few months. They have a kind of a new themed league that starts out. There are these challenge leagues right here on the right. This current league is called the Bestiary League. It's a little bit like Pokemon. There's going to be beasts that we'll find as we play, and oh yeah, buddy, oh yeah, we're doing it. We're going for real. Yeah, so with this current league, Bestiary, basically, like I said, it's got a little bit of like a Pokemon feel to it. There's going to be beasts in this league. Ratzlaff, how you doing? And you're going to have the chance to capture them and basically use kind of the materials that you get from them. They're going to go in a menagerie. I don't know much about it. We're going to hop into it because I've been excited to try this. We're about a month late for the start of the league, so currency-wise, we're a bit behind everybody else. But yeah, we're going to hop into the Bestiary League here. I'm going to be honest, I've been thinking about playing this all day. I'm still undecided in my head if I want to try the hardcore or the normal mode. Basically, the way the game works with its modes, you have hardcore, you have standard, and essentially the difference between them is in hardcore you have one life. You have literally one life. If you die, your character gets moved all the way out of the challenge leagues into the standard league. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So yeah, hardcore is one shot. You get an unlucky crit from a boss. You stand in a place you're not supposed to. You use a skill. Yeah, it's you use a skill that you're not supposed to use in a place you're not supposed to use it. You're dropping all the way out of the challenge league, all the way back to the standard league. But I think we're doing hardcore. I think this is the hardcore stream. Now, I'm not crazy. We're not doing solo self-found because this is a multiplayer game at heart. This is a game of crafting, trading, looting. It's a Diablo-style action RPG. I don't have any desire to do it solo self-found, which basically just turns into punishing yourself over and over. So yeah, we're hopping in hardcore Bestiary League. So first decision to make, you have these characters. You get 7 total playable characters you can pick from. And basically the way the game works, when we get in, I'll show you my absolute favorite part of the game, the skill tree. And essentially what we need to know for now for character creation is, if you've never seen this before, the skill tree is going to blow your mind. It's freaking massive and ridiculous. It's gigantic. It's indescribably big. The way that the skills and things break out are each character starts on this big wheel on the skill tree. They start in a different place, and you're not locked into any particular build. You can go from your starting spot and kind of weave around the skill tree as you see fit. So, for instance, the Marauder. I should probably that's gonna that activates a little bit of a talk there. Yeah. Anyway, the Marauder's a pure strength build, but it can go from that start of the strength part of the tree into any build that you want. Some are more effective than others, but that's something you can do. So basically what you have is you have the Marauder, that's strength. You have the Ranger, that is pure dexterity. And you have the Witch, which is pure pure intelligence, and then you have hybrid builds. So the Templar is strength and magic. The little shadow assassin, funny looking guy over here, with the very 2018 haircut, is magic and intelligence and dexterity. And then you got this guy over here who is the strength and dexterity, the little duelist. And the Scion starts in the very, very center of the tree. She can kind of go anywhere and do anything. So, given that it's the first time, I don't really feel like just chucking arrows into people for a while. And I kind of want to do, the Marauder. Go a little crazy here. All right, so we're doing hardcore build. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. How many characters do we have? What do we got? 1, 2. We got a bunch to play with. There you go. My goodness. I believe my wife's home. I am so sorry. My wife is just coming back from being out for a little while. I'm going to go let her in the house so she's not out all night. I will be back in 3 seconds. Yeah, that one's on me. That one's on me. Yep. Not my best move. Note to self, leave the door unlocked. All right. We're back. We're doing it. Apologies. So this is where we start out. You start out on the beach, face down in the mud, apparently. I think his head's turned sideways to breathe. Oh, yeah. I locked it right out. Yes. Unintentional. It was for the kids' safety. All right. So we click. The guy will get up. A very illustrious start to the evening. Alright, so you pick up your club here. Now here's the way this works. So every item in the game has these little skill slots. They're all colored. They're either red, blue, green. In very rare cases, they're white, which just means they're basically every color. So the red ones are strength-based. So you basically slot gems into them. We'll see this in a second. Click on this guy. If you're interested in reading, I'm not gonna. I've read through these so many times. We made it alive. Oh, he gets eaten by a zombie. Smack the zombie a few times. He drops your first skill gem. All right, quick overview of how these work. Yeah, I know that. We're gonna skip tutorials. So this is a red gem. It's heavy strike. It attacks the enemy with a pretty heavy blow. Red gems fit in red sockets. We're gonna put it in the socket, and now we get access to the skill. We can right click and we can use heavy strike. So you can smack these guys a few times, miss a lot because we're terrible at the beginning, or you can just go heavy strike, hit him, knocks him back a little bit. Does a little bit of damage. So we'll kind of work our way up the beach here. Normally I wouldn't hit too many, but we'll kind of get a good... Alright. And I'm sure in a little bit I'll explain how the loot filters work. The reason that item doesn't really show up on the ground right now is because I have a loot filter set up to basically filter out all of the really bad items that I would never want to grab, because otherwise it kind of clogs up the screen a little bit, to be honest. Alright, Ruthless Support. So every third time we use this attack, every third time we slot this in here. Oh, this is a good chance to... Okay, so supported skills. If you notice, there's a little connector here. Little chain thing between these two skills. So basically what you can do with the items in the game is, if there's something that's chained together like this, you can put a gem in one of the sockets, and then you can put... If you notice, this is an attack melee. It says it up there, but obviously that's a little difficult. It's an attack, and then you can slot in these support gems. And support gems modify the different attack and active skill gems in the game. So this one makes it so every time we use that thing 3 times, we get a little bit of a damage boost. We're going to head over here. We're going to fight the little mini boss of the very first area. We'll kill him. We'll gain a level. And then we will head into the first town. Man, there's no one on the beach here. Usually there's a bunch of enemies in the way. Alright, we'll kill him. Here's Hillock. He's got a huge old bunch of swords in his back. Let's get him. So the game does use a health and mana system, and you'll see on the bottom left there's like potions. You got health potions, you have mana potions, and the way these work is They are things that you hold at all times. You can swap them in and out for different things. As you level, you'll get better ones, theoretically. You will... What are these guys? Oh, that's what we want right there. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and pop this, not the support gem. Go ahead and put this heavy strike on there. Now we're holding the two-hander, and we'll head into town. Okay. We're in town. Gonna talk to our first people, get our first things. It's a very fancy looking guy. Talk to her. She sends us on a quest to talk to this guy. Very tough quest. We gotta go find a medicine chest on the tidal island. And this guy gives us a reward. Alright, so we're gonna have some fun with this guy. This guy's pretty cool. So we picked up Molten Strike. When Molten Strike hits an enemy, essentially it has a bunch of orbs, like little balls of magma that pop up and do some damage. Go down here, have these special tabs because, like I said, I've played a lot of this game. If I can find my currency tab, because that's the one I want to put all the stuff in. I'm going to pull this up to the front of our inventory real quick. The tabs are where you keep all of the stuff in the game. I don't think we actually want that. We're just going to have the currency tab up there. Okay, so while we're in town here, we're going to take a look at the skill tree. So this is the way that the mana, health, potions system, all of that works in the game. Health does not naturally regen. No, you have 0 base regen on your health. You can get regen from a lot of sources, and in the later game, it's an absolutely massive part of the game. You can get leeching effects, which again is another massive part of the game in the end game. Where your attacks or your spells will heal you, but it does not naturally regen. So what you do is you use these flasks. I don't know why I call them potions. You use flasks. They restore health, and the way that the flasks work is they stay in your inventory. So unlike something like Diablo where you pick up, you run over like health pots, or you consume them to heal, these regenerate charges, and the way you get charges is by killing enemies. So the more enemies you kill, they refill the charges on the flask, and then you consume the charges to heal you. So you can see you basically have 3 heals from these right now, and every time you kill an enemy, you get one of the charges back. So every time you kill 7 enemies, you can heal again. It's a pretty cool system. All right, we're gonna take a look at this. This is where the Marauder starts out. We're about to blow your minds if you've never seen this game before. So the Marauder starts out here. You start out with some strength, a little bit of intelligence, not much, a little bit of dexterity. And you can pick, so we have 1 skill point from getting to level 2. And we can pick to either put this in melee damage and life, which gives us life and gives us increased melee damage, or we can put this in life and armor, which gives us armor and gives us life. Here's the thing. We did not do this, but you kind of want to plan out. I didn't do it because I wanted to kind of do it on stream in an interactive way. You want to kind of plan out your builds because this is the skill tree. So when I said it's massive, yeah, it's got some play to it. It's got some decisions to make. So every single point that you see on this tree, with the exception of these hubs, which are the other characters, are skill points that you can spend your points on if you can get to them. So, for instance, if I want to go all the way to the other side of the tree and put a point in phase acrobatics, which gives me a 30% chance to dodge spell damage, all I have to do is, just casually spend points all the way across the tree as I level up till I get there. So you can do whatever you want, no matter how bad it is or how good it is. And so generally what you'll do is you'll plan out the builds a little bit. What we're going to do is we're just going to kind of do it off the cuff because it's the best way to play. Okay. So, given that we are a hardcore character, if we die, we are out. So, I'm going to put this point into life and armor so that it is less likely that I die. And then we're going to do a quick check. I'll explain the currency system of the game in just a second. I'm going to do a quick check to see if there are any boots with movement speed on them. There are not, which is fine. Okay. And I'm going to grab us... yeah, so that's what I want right there. Let's get some 22 is kind of nice. Let's get some 22% increased physical damage. Start hitting some people. Okay, so the item system in the game. How do we get new items from other people or get new items from the vendors? I'm glad you asked. There is no gold in this game. Gold does not exist. Gold is useless on the island of Rayclast. There is... Oh, hold on. I'll explain this in a second. This is the new league thing. This is the Bestiary League. We're going to go talk to this guy. We're going to go talk to this guy because he introduces us to the mechanic of this current league, which again is a little like almost Pokemon-like type of league. It's called the Bestiary, where we're going to capture monsters and things like that. So, yeah, we're going to talk to this guy, see what he has to say.
That look in your eye, I recognize it. A survivor, just like Einar.
Oh, I'm listening to him the whole way.
That is my name, Exile. Einar. In my native tongue, it means lone fighter.
Fair enough.
That is what Einar was for many years. But it is dangerous now to fight alone. Too dangerous. Even for the mighty Einar.
This guy likes his own name.
We are in the final days of this world, Exile. Of that, I'm sure. The animals in this land are sick. Sick in the body. And sick in the mind. I have never seen such a sickness before. Only one thing can be done. We survivors must prepare for the end. And delay its arrival as long as we can. Einar has collected many things.
Apologies, clicked away. Forgot if you click it, it skips a little bit. Okay, that's fine.
Explosive. I can hunt the beasts of this land for meat, but you can only learn a little for meat. To survive, we must know.
Hey, Mr. Nurse, thank you very much for the sub. Greatly appreciate it. That's awesome. I'm glad to see my little animation worked. Thank you very much for the sub. Greatly appreciate it. Okay, so I'm about done. I'm about done listening to this guy. All right, so he gives us a net, and this is what we do. Oh, of course it is, dude. It'll always be the office. That's what all of the alerts are currently. So yeah, like I said, this league's a little bit like Pokemon. What we're gonna do is he's gonna give us a rope net, and we're gonna use it to capture beasts. What we're gonna do with those beasts, I honestly don't even know. Oh, you were dead on, man. I didn't want to give it away right away, but you were dead on. I saw it, and I was like, yeah, yep, he got it. Okay, so press V when we're targeting a beast to throw a net. Fair enough. This is new. Okay, so real quick before we move on, what I was saying about getting items in the game. So there's no gold in this game. If you'll notice, anything we killed before didn't drop gold; it dropped items. The currency in this game are both the items of the game and the crafting materials. So, for instance, we can look at Scrolls of Wisdom. Scrolls identify items. So if we get an item that is unidentified, if it's like a magic item or rare item, anything like that, it'll come unidentified, and we will use scrolls on it to identify that item. They don't really have any value, but let's assume that they did. You could also use your scrolls to purchase other people's items. People can set prices on the items. There's a specific website for it. If you're actually looking for very specific things, you can go and find them and see what people price them for. And we'll get into that later. But for now, just know that the crafting materials that we find, there's orbs, there's all kinds of stuff. I can't think of them off the top of my head. We will be using those either to craft gear or to buy gear from other people. So that's essentially how this works. I want Molten Strike in here. We'll use Q if we need to do a lot of damage to somebody. Alright, so these are not beasts, so I'm not really interested in capturing them, but here you get a look at this is the Molten Strike skill that I picked up. You attack someone, and it tosses a bunch of these up in the air, which deal damage in an area as they come down. There we go. Go up here. Heal up. See the health pot working. And we'll just burst these guys down. Get a bunch of experience. Pick up a Scroll of Wisdom. Oh, okay. I forgot. So we can capture these. So they're up here. If you notice as you mouse over them, it says new there up at the top with their name. So I believe we can capture one of these. I don't know why I want to capture a Sand Spitter, but... Alright, so we toss a net out here. Okay. So the basic idea is you toss a net on something, and within... Jeez. Oh my gosh. Oh. Well, that happened. Alright. Apparently there's one behind him. Well, that was unexpected. Thought we were about to get eaten there. All right, so yeah, he grabs them, basically tosses them in. I believe it's called a menagerie. Our skills leveled, by the way. Your skills will level up and do more damage and things.
You have shown Aina that you are indeed a survivor, and you have given the first ones their first gift. So now, a gift for you.
All right, so when we capture the beast, oh, I got out of it. When we capture the beast, he's going to. How do we open the bestiary? These are important questions. These are very important questions. Is there anything in here about bestiary? Of course not.
Greetings, survivor.
Oh, okay. So need challenge. So yeah, we have this bestiary that we're going to keep as we capture things, and I guess it has notes in it on the beast that we captured. So for instance, the gravel eater that we captured. There's that. The deep. Oh, okay. So different sections of the game, I guess, different places that you find beasts. We can see ones that we've captured. So yeah, we captured one of the 33 crustaceans. Captured. All right. We'll figure this out. So the important thing is they give you crafting recipes. They're going to let us make our gear better later. There are league-specific uniques that we can get. But yeah, we're gonna capture some. I might see if I can buy a couple nets from him. I don't know what they cost. So they cost one. So you see how the currency works. To buy 5, I think it's 5 nets because we bought 5 before. Oh no, it's 3 right there. It's, the big 3 right in front of my face. So 1 scroll of wisdom will buy us 3 nets. I'm just gonna grab a couple more in case we want to use them. Capture some monsters here. So supposedly you can also find. There are in the area. In some areas, get like a special monster or a special beast that you can capture that have like a skull on it on the map. We'll see. So I'm a little scared of that, but we'll figure it out. All right, so we'll grab an iron hat, put it on, get a little bit of armor. There's basically 3 types of armor, like ways to mitigate damage in the game. The 3 ways are straight up armor. There is evasion, and there is energy shield. And basically, for the most part, they kind of match up with the whole strength, intelligence, dexterity type of idea. Oh boy, in a little bit of trouble here. So, general fighting tip for Path of Exile. If you're a little bit lower on something, so like right now we're about between 1/2 and 3/4 on full-on mana. If we want to fill the mana pot back, it is a good idea to use a mana pot like that. Like we just used it if we're a little low. We want to start regenning it before we attack stuff, because as we attack stuff, it will fill those back up. So if we basically spend the charges to start refilling the mana, as we refill that mana, we can use it to keep generating more charges. So the reason to do that is because your health and mana stop regenerating. Oh yeah, you get jumped insanely quick in this game. You will die so fast. This game is hard. Unless you just go like hyper defensive, which is what I did the first few times that I played hardcore mode. I'm hoping that in the future, for future Path of Exile streams, we'll have potentially one or even a couple of guests playing with us in a party that I've played with a few times before. I'm going to toss net on this guy because I want to capture that. There you go. So again, that's the way to capture things. You toss a net on him, you get him to low health, low enough, and he'll be captured. That portal is going to scare me every time. Okay. Yeah, you get jumped freaking quick in this game. Particularly by some of the quicker moving things. Like we'll see, there is in the very next zone, this I believe is the zone, no it's not, I thought it was the zone boss up here. There's actually no one that we need to fight here. This area is like a transition between the main, the first town and the first side quest, as well as the next, like the area to get into the next part of the game. So we're just killing it to kind of get an idea for some of the combat mechanics, see how the flasks work, and explaining a few things. All right, so we got our first new type of item. So each zone has, in general, zones have waypoints. If you click on that waypoint, the map will open up. You can go through, you can basically fast travel through different places. This map screen also acts as your quest, kind of your quest viewing hub, and really importantly, it lets you, if I'd have died right there, it's hardcore, so I would have gone out. But if I'd been playing standard and I died or wanted to get back, there's no easy way. But if you get the waypoints, you're good to go. We're gonna head here. Remember, we have this quest to travel to the Tidal Island and find the medicine chest. I know from experience this is not always a fun fight at a super low level, and we need to assign skill point. All right, so we want to get here. Warrior's Blood starts to give us. Warrior's Blood starts to give us health regeneration, which is something I'm very interested in. It also gives us a bonus to strength, and if you see up here, every time we get 5 strength, we get additional 1% melee physical damage. So we do gain damage just by straight up getting some strength. So rather than taking these side nodes, which in general, if you'll see, these like pathway nodes are all just base stats, and then you have the clusters that do specific things. Make sure I'm hyper paranoid. I keep getting out to make sure we're not being attacked. I have died in hardcore more than once to that. But we're going to take life and armor, gives us again armor and life. And we're going to start working our way through that cluster. Yeah, you get surrounded quick. I also, because I play this quite a bit, I tend to do this where I bunch up the enemies if I have an AoE skill like that, because I want them to die at once, and I wouldn't say I'm necessarily good at it. I'm experienced at the health management side of it right now. So here, you'll see a magic item. They show up as blue and they're unidentified, so we would have to spend a scroll of wisdom to identify that. Not really interested in doing that at the moment, because all of these items are not very good, and they will get replaced almost immediately. The items that we want right now are movement speed. Movement speed items are the best because they just allow you to get around faster. They allow you to do more things. So that's why we checked right in the first time. We checked for movement speed boots to see if there were any. We'll check pretty much. Basically, vendors reset in towns every time you gain a level, and then every once in a while they just reset on their own. Oh sweet, we got our first upgraded life flask. So the original life flask, this heals for 70. This heals for 150. We're gonna swap that right over here. They start empty and they will refill as we play. If you enter a town, also your health and flasks and mana and all that are reset to full. So, okay, cool. So I didn't actually know. This is a question that I had. I didn't actually know if nets dropped naturally, or if you always had to buy them. I'm really glad they do drop. It might take away from some other cool things. I'm getting a little nervous here. This zone boss early on in the game is actually fairly difficult. His name's Hailrake, and the reason he's difficult is, first of all, he has a little bit of a high for low level. He has a little bit of a high crit chance, but he also freezes you, and when you get frozen so we'll cover status effects in a little bit. You can get chilled in this game where your movement speed is slowed, or you can get straight up frozen, which means you literally are frozen. And during that time, Hailrake's pretty good at killing you. So we're trying to clear out as many of the side ads as we can, so that we at least can just try to deal with Hailrake. Because if you get frozen by him and he's dealing damage and a bunch of other stuff you're in trouble. And there he is. So yeah, he throws out this little thing, which by the way is a skill you can get in the game. I'm going to try to dodge him while we clear stuff. These little magma orbs, they do float in the air for a second before they come down, so if you attack kind of while he's moving toward you like that, he'll just walk right into him. And now that everything's cleared, we'll wait for him to shoot out one of his little things, and we'll go to town. Because of this knockback, it's kind of funny. You can actually knock him back to the point where he uses his skill instead of just smashing you. There we go. So it's kind of weird. I've died before because I actually used that too much, and I smashed him out of range, and then he killed me because he froze me. So we killed Hailrake. We got our little chest that we have to give back to her, and now, in general, mobs do not fight one another. There are ways to get that effect. The most common way being you can play a summoner build where you basically all your fighting is done by things like skeletons or other things. Skeletons are one of the main ones, and we haven't really seen most of the other things you'd use. So you can get them to fight like for you as a summoner. I believe there's a couple skills. I shouldn't say a couple. I believe there's a skill that makes like monsters turn on each other a little bit, but it's not really very effective, and no one really uses it. But that is the thing that I enjoy about this game more than any other, is that if you want to make a build like that, just got to figure out how it works. In general, it'll probably take a couple of specific unique items. But you can pretty much make anything work. It's just a question of how effective is it and what do you want the build to do. If you just want the build to have fun, you can make anything work. If you want it to do endgame content, you'll need to come up with something pretty good. So I'm going to just walk, because we kind of did circle around killing stuff. I'm just going to walk out and use the waypoint to get back. Normally we could use, that's what these portal scrolls are for. This is the other two kind of scrolls that drop. Wisdom scrolls to identify things, portal scrolls to take you back to town. But since we were close to the waypoint, I'll just save it, because early on you don't have very many. Later in the game, you just won't even pick them up. You'll have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. You don't even have to worry about it. But alright, so we'll give this chest back to her, and this is what we really came for. The reward, a Quicksilver Flask, which when we use it, gives us increased movement speed for a few seconds. And we'll get a gem from her. It's Ancestral Call. I believe that's still super broken. Yes. Ancestral Call makes your single target ability... Ancestral Call makes your single target abilities attack multiple targets. As you may be able to guess, that is super, super broken. It's really, really good. So for instance, if we used Heavy Strike on Hailrake, it would have also heavily strucken enemies near Hailrake. Alright, he wants us to clear the fetid pools. I want him to have movement speed boots. And we're both unhappy. Okay. So this is, I believe, a better, 10 to 17, 9 to 13. Yeah, let's grab this bad boy. Okay. Grab this, swap this in. I don't need that anymore, and it doesn't really sell for anything. Yeah. So he's also... Oh, we just killed the thing, so he basically congratulates us. Alright, so we can take this, another point, 3 more levels to go to get to the Warrior's Blood. Alright, so Ancestral Call, really, really good. We gotta find... I guess I should have looked for something that was linked to put it in, but that's not a big deal. So you can see different orbs here. The cost of these, for instance, to get this costs an Orb of Transmutation. To get an Orb of Transmutation, you can either pick them up off the ground, which you'll find a lot of these later. These are actually really common. Or you can basically sell them for, or buy one at the cost of 7 Portal Scrolls. That's a horrendous... All these deals for like buying them are horrendous, and you try to avoid them if you can. Mana regen's not terrible. We haven't found really any necklaces yet, but we're just gonna keep going. We have, yeah, if we find a linked item, that would be great, because we could use Ancestral Call. One thing you can do is, if you have open slots like this that you're not using, you can just slot a gem in there, and what it does is it starts leveling the gem, so you at least get the levels out of it, and you start to make the gem a little better and better. But we're gonna go up here, and you're gonna start to see just how quickly you can get surrounded in this game. This is a very dangerous area early on. There are beasts in here, which we will capture. There are beasts in here. Oh, it looks like he knows. What do you want? What do you want? Capture Oozback Bloom. Oh, no. Okay. Wow. Okay. So he gives us more rope nets. All right, we have 1 million now. 12 is 1 million. Math checks out. Okay. There's wildlife you can't interact with at all. It's a little more to the forefront of my attention now that we're capturing beasts. So each zone of the game has a boss. Whoops, that's not the right one. What's the right one? I'm forgetting all the hotkeys for this game. There we go. So the coast that we were just at has a boss in the zone. Basically, every zone has 1 or 2 monsters that are like the... I guess boss of the zone is the best way to describe them. They're stronger than pretty much everything else. They generally have an orange... Well, they always have an orange name, and they have something about them that makes them stronger. In the case of the monster, the boss of this zone, he gives off like this... I don't know what to call it. I guess he gives off like a stench. That's what he referred to when I just took the quest. You can see the effects here of the Quicksilver Flask. He basically, standing near him makes you take damage every second. It can be a little rough in the early game, but he wants us to capture it, so we're going to try. We're also going to try to capture some of the normal Roas. Alright, so we'll toss one on here. Get him down. Captured. Nailed it. Pokemon! Alright, so the giant row is another one I need to capture. I think we captured the small one here. But grab him. Alright, this is cool. I don't know what we use them for. I know it's like I know it's some kind of crafting thing. But I'm not sure if there's another use for them. I'm also not sure where they, because I know part of the reason for capturing them, if you'll see right here, complete his quest to unlock the menagerie. I don't know what the menagerie does. We're gonna find out. Okay, notice this superior item here. If you'll notice, I didn't really want to equip that to my feet. Superior items have quality to them. It says quality 10% right there. Items can have quality anywhere from 1, well, technically 0, all the way up to 20%. We're going to collect these glyphs because they open up a wall for us to move on. Yeah. I was just thinking. Oh, you see magic packs of monsters too starting in this zone. These are tougher to kill. They offer a ton of experience. They're actually, if you're doing any kind of like speed running or anything like that, or just trying to level quickly, you actually skip most white monsters because they barely give you any experience, and you basically just do objectives and search out blue packs. It's a very popular strategy for speed running. But it's always fun to watch little balls of lava go around. So we're killing packs as we go. We're also searching for that zone boss because I have not captured him yet. And we kind of need to do that. Yeah, these guys rush at you. This is monsters like these are a good way to get surrounded and killed real quick. Luckily, we do all of the damage. Alright, so we got another medium life flask. Oh, I didn't realize this was medium. So this is a magic item. We use the scroll to identify it. It heals more, but slower. So here's the thing in this game. You really got to pay attention to what things do and think about what effect that has on your character, particularly in hardcore mode. So for instance, this heals more, but it heals slower. It heals more, which is great, but it heals slower, which will kill you. So we are not equipping this. Healing slowly is bad. The best flasks are the ones that heal for about half the amount that the flask normally would, but they heal instantly or they heal at like double speed. Those are awesome because basically to survive, you're going to need to have some kind of like leech or crazy health regen in the late game anyway. So all you're trying to buy yourself is that extra few seconds for it to get going and get you back up. And that's those instant flasks are really good for that. So this is the final. I believe this is the final glyph. I think we grabbed 2 before. Yeah, we did. So this will be the final one. There's 3 that we have to grab in this area. Haven't seen a good linked red item yet for this ancestral call. Grab the final glyph. Thought it was the final glyph. Yeah. Move a little fast. We're gonna look for this this zone boss guy. I believe he's usually over here on the right. But we'll find him. Skeletons popping up. It can be tough to tell when they pop up in like watery. Oh, there he is! Right. Oh my gosh, he's right on top of us. Run. Oh yeah, we gotta switch a keybind. I'll explain literally the most helpful thing you can ever do to help yourself not die in this game in just a second. Alright, so we gotta press V, toss a little trap on him. I believe it only subdues him for a few seconds. This might not work. Yeah, okay, so we gotta wait until he's lower health. I believe we can do it now. Whew, that was close. Alright, there we go. New recipe unlocked. Create a leveling item. Rare boots with movement speed. The game knows. The game knows what I want. There's our first rare item, by the way. Rare items will have this little background because of the loot filter that I use. It makes them show up like that. So sweet, we can use that guy, and I think we can use him in like the materials that he gives us to craft some really good boots with movement speed, hopefully. All right, let's talk to him. That is awesome. Yeah, the monsters are huge. You'll fight some big stuff.
Great job, Exile. Uzbek Bloom now sits in his cage in the menagerie.
Oh, sweet, we get to go see it.
It will surprise you to learn that I am not popular.
It's not that surprising, man.
Ignorant.
Not that surprising.
They do not see the end coming.
Yeah, that was great. This is like the #1 thing you can do to make the leveling process smooth is get some nice movement speed and good boots.
Before we met,
Okay, So we're going to go to this menagerie. I'm excited here. This is the first time I've seen this. Alright, the menagerie. Sweet. I know it's like super cliche to make your own cold brew and then drink it in a mason jar. It's freaking delicious. I don't care. Alright. Super low effort. Alright, so menagerie. I'm going to walk around before I talk to him. Are any of the things that we captured? Oh, they're in the... Okay, so just like we have that... what's the achievements pan? I got to remember all my... I remember my hotkeys. I don't remember any of them. And this is all... That's events. We'll figure this out. We'll get there. There it is. H. Okay, so Bestiary. We captured these 5, and they're all in the different sections. So like the deep. So if we go in the... I believe the depths, we get to see the things that we captured. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right.
The arena just north. That is the blood altar. It is where you will perform the
Once you
ritual of sacrifice by
Oh,
combat.
dang.
Once you have captured
What?
the beasts, go to the altar in the middle.
Oh, this is ridiculous. So we get to fight the stuff that we captured? Is that how we get, like, things? I am 1,000% terrified right now. Okay, so our first cool node right here, we start to get some life regen. So now, yes, yeah, Rat's Life, I'll answer you now. Now we do gain life every second. You'll notice we're actually regenerating it right now because we were a little bit low. That would be sick. I'm excited to see what this is. Create 11 item. Rare boots with movements. What do? Do I click on this? Okay. Any roa, any roa, any roa, and the Uzbek bloom. Oops. Okay. So I have to... Okay, so in order to craft this... I gotcha. Okay, so we captured 2 roas and we captured an Uzbek bloom. To create the rare boots of movement speed, we got to capture 1 more roa. So we'll go capture 1 more roa and we'll come right back. I guess you unlock the recipes, I think... Okay, so the way that I'm understanding this... You unlock the recipes by capturing specific types of monsters for the first time. You'll unlock recipes, and then you have to capture multiples of them to get those, like, to complete the recipes here. So we'll need to come back to this zone if we want to make, like, say, another one. There we go. Stupid beast. I love this guy. I love this guy.
Hello.
I love that whenever you capture one, he appears too, so you can just go to the menagerie from where he is. Okay. So now let's go try to craft some rare boots and movement speed. I'm terrified this is going to make me fight something. That's what I'm scared of. Rare boots and movement speed. Okay, so it kind of... Interesting. I wonder if his effect has an effect on the boots. Let's find out. Oh my gosh, it does. We have to fight. Oh my gosh, that was terrifying. Please don't kill me. Alright, we're just going to heavy strike him to death. Yep, this is absolutely terrifying. The fact that we have to, like, fight him every time to get this, but I do a lot of damage early on. Okay. So we did it. Alright, so it only took 1 round. And then we get these. Oh, dang. Nice. Alright. So that was... Oh, my gosh. This league is awesome. Alright. We'll go over here. We'll look at these boots. So they give us maximum... You'll see rares can have a lot more... prefixes and suffixes to them, which are a deeper concept. That is very true. That's what scared me at first, was that it said blood altar. I was a little bit terrified. So you'll see rares can have a lot more things on them than normal items. Regular items generally have pretty much nothing. The magic items, you'll start to see it on here, they'll have 1 or 2 of the prefixes and suffixes, which again are not that important to know about yet. Rares just have a ton of crap on them. So this regens life a second. It gives us life. It gives us some fire resist. It gives us move speed. That is awesome. The only way that could be better is if it were better. But that's pretty awesome. So what does he have us for us?
The crunch of bone. The splatter of blood.
Yep, I'm in. That was awesome. Okay, so we capture a bunch of crap. We find recipes, capture a bunch of crap to complete the recipes, and then we fight those 1 more time, and if we win, we get an item. I'm super into that. This league is awesome. I will say their leagues in general are great. Oh, and I'm remembering one thing we got to do here with our setup. So here's something you want to do pretty much right away. If you'll notice, what I haven't been doing since basically the start of the game is auto-attacking. Auto-attacking is really bad. It does nothing. This whole game is built on skills that stack with each other. Look at this. We've barely been playing it all. It already does all this stuff that's listed there. Physical fire, 3 projectiles, it just, all this stuff. So you basically never auto-attack. And the issue is, when you click on something, you go to auto-attacking. And auto-attacking in this game can kill you. So what you want to do basically right away, as soon as you have a skill that you can use, and you have mana that you can regenerate to keep using that skill, you want to switch this to move only. We almost died. 2 of the times that we've almost died so far have been because I accidentally clicked and went to auto-attack instead of moving through something. So we'll open this chest. It's hugely important to not be auto-attacking things. So we got those 3 glyphs right here. We got one, Roseus, I call it the Halitosis glyph. Haliotis glyph, and the Ammonite. We put them in the wall, and everything dries up because that makes sense. Go in the submerged passage. There will be, I believe, some cool beasts down here to grab. I'm not exactly sure what all constitutes a beast. So, like, there's things in here, like little floaty tentacle fish things. I'm not sure if they count. If they do, we can capture them. So that was really cool. I really like this this league thing. I can go right to my menagerie. I gotta get a hideout. Hideouts are the coolest thing. Hideout is basically a room for yourself that you can personalize that has all these crafting masters and crafting benches. So these are beasts. We can capture them because they have that new thing up top. Got him.
This one is captured.
Captured beast, curse spawn. There you go. So I think we only get recipes when we capture like the rare stuff. We'll capture one of these. Nailed it. And then the cave crustaceans also turn into rock spitters, which we'll capture as well. Sweet. This is totally Pokemon. This is like 100% Pokemon. Just with really, just it's the horrifying part of Pokemon where you just skin your animals and turn them into items. It's adult Pokemon. I think we all know what happens when the Pokemon get older. It's the glue factory. That's all this is. So okay, look it on the map here. Look up on the mini map. This is what I'm talking about. There's beasts that will spawn in the area that wouldn't normally be in the area, that are denoted with that golden skull. So we'll see what. Yeah, did you see how fast that moved? Holy crap! That's gonna explode. Anytime you see something like that on the ground, get the frick away. We'll just smash it a few times with a big hammer. Oh my gosh. Remember that time I forgot to capture it? This is going to be difficult, man. We almost died right away. How was I supposed to get time to capture it? Whew. Alright, this is intense. This is intense. This league is great. Alright, we'll have to come back to that. I'm really sad that we missed that thing. Alright, we got this. Yeah, things get crazy here. Yeah, you see stuff on the ground like that, don't mess around standing in it. There are some of the deadliest bosses in the game are ones with a skill called Detonate Dead, where they can target corpses on the ground, like they would be able to target these things, and they literally make them explode and do damage. And in the later game, you will kill stuff extremely quickly, and the whole ground will, like, look at how many corpses are already on the ground just from this little interaction here. A boss with Detonate Dead could just make them all explode and deal just a ton of damage to us, so you gotta be real careful of stuff like that later on. So when stuff's on the ground, I don't even know. I was gonna try to rhyme there, then I had nothing. But get out. All right. As monsters scale up in their rarity, so like that was a pack of blue, the magic monsters. As they scale up in rarity, they also give more charges to your flasks, and they give more experience. And they get better drops. So the whole game kind of scales like that with rarity. So we're gonna run. That's a lot of stuff. Look at these little dinky guys. Are these just bigger than normal? Oh no, they're this. So here's another thing. Oh, that's one we can capture too. This is the zone boss of this zone, by the way. Why did I try to do that? I got to learn that we need to weaken strong monsters before we try to capture. I could be wrong, but based on the ooze that we tried and this guy, it looks like they might even, if you don't capture them in the time, it looks like they might even heal. I don't know for sure, but oh, we got frozen there. Come on, got him. There we go. Create a leveling item, rare gloves with added cold damage. We need the Blood Princess and any Sea Witch. Alright, so we gotta start capturing these Sea Witches. This is awesome. I am so pumped about this league right now. Alright, we're still looking for red link gloves, or red linked anything to be able to start using this with the Ancestral Call. We grab this and we're one away. We'll start getting some serious defenses going here in a minute and be able to tank a lot of this stuff a lot easier. Already got those. I don't see a crafting recipe for those yet. I'm going to stay in here, so that's the out to the ledge. I am going to capture... What was that recipe? I'm going to have to look at the recipe again. I'm not sure if it's something that's relevant to us. I think it said rare gloves. If it's gloves, I'll take it. I don't want like a rare wand or something like that we can't even use. Oh, this is sweet. Recipe, rare gloves with that. Yeah, we'll take that because cold damage early on in the game is really cool. Because cold damage has a chance to chill, which slows movement speed, and cold damage has a chance to freeze, which just pauses them in place while you bash their brains in. And cold damage is really good on something like a Marauder that is just going to stand there and freeze things and then just pound them. That's not what we want to capture. I like this. It makes you go through the zones a little bit more, see what's there. This could end up having us go a little bit further back than I want, but I still want those. I want those gloves. The added cold damage is huge. I kind of want to see how they turn out. Plus, I just want to fight more stuff. I'm not asking a lot. Let's just fight things. All right, we'll go down here. Oh, good. There's another area here, the Flooded Depths. Some of the zones, so the zones don't follow linearly. It's not like you just go from zone to zone and you just pass right through. If you notice, there was one we didn't even go in off the mud flats. That one is part of the fetid pool, this little quest over here, the fetid pool job. We can do that later. A lot of what the side quests do is they give you... Oh, wow. Are these beasts? They are. We can totally capture these too. Nice. Okay. Don't get worried about that. That's an effect that they have. They make it darker around you. There we go. There's the Sea Witches that I want. And I killed them all with one. Alright, well that's a thing. You know, it's a problem dealing too much damage. I actually heard that, like, dealing too much damage is kind of crazy in this little league thing because... Oh, these are different. That was a different... Did you see that? It said new on them. We can capture that too. Alright. Let's keep going. Where'd we go? Here we go. This layout here down here is confusing. I didn't even find it yet. There we go. See, these are new. Apparently we haven't defeated this type yet. Why can I not throw these on here? I'm getting a little worried. Holy crap. Whew! That was... Alright. That was almost the end for our hero. Large mana flask is nice. Cool thing about Molten Strike is we can kill things from above a ledge because we just drop the bombs on them. We don't actually hit them, we just drop the things on them. Maybe. Maybe they just all miss. Wow. That was a little scary. Eat it. There we go. Straight hatchet. Alright. What did we get? We've got a couple items. Wand, not interesting. We will take a nice mana pot because we're not regenerating mana very fast, so getting a good mana pot is big. We're gonna have to get some charges. These are... Why can I not throw things at these? Are these too high level? Oh, we have 0. We're out. Oh, boy. No, this is not good because that means we can't capture this thing. Alright, we're gonna go back and buy more. This is when you use Portal Scrolls. Whew, this is sweet. Alright. So we're gonna get some Pokeballs. We're gonna capture a couple things. I hope he's in the town here. He's gotta be in the town. Right? They usually have the characters hang out. Purchase nets. Ooh, what are these? Effective against... He's got to be effective on... We have not gotten many Scrolls of Wisdom here. I wonder if these show up with my loot filter. That's an interesting question. Maybe we've just been unlucky. I'm going to buy 3 of these because we're about to go to areas of like this higher level. Fortunately, we can only grab these because we only have 1 Scroll of Wisdom. We may need to just pick up a few items and start selling them because some items can scroll or sell for scrolls. So as we sell them, we can get them. He gives us a reward because we completed a quest before. I think we're going to actually take Ancestral Protector. This is a sweet skill. You'll see this skill is really nice. Alright, so what Ancestral Protector does is it basically makes a totem pop up out of the ground. And as long as we're near enough to that totem, the totem attacks enemies. By the way, we leveled. So we are going to get that Warrior's Blood. So now we're going to regenerate a pretty good chunk of life. Between the boots, giving us flat life regen and the... and from our skill tree, getting 1.8 and then another 0.8. We got 2.6% of our life being regenerated a second, in addition to just a flat 1.1. So basically regenerating 3 life a second right now. No, like 6 life a second, something like that. That's pretty solid. We don't want to take that. We want to take this back there. So we can sell things like these flasks. All would sell back for fragments of scrolls. And as a matter of fact, I should probably do that to get another thing, because then we can buy more nets. So we got to sell back 5 scroll fragments to get a Scroll of Wisdom. So we'll do that. Then we can spend our other ones to purchase these, and we're up to 6 nets. Nailed it. Nailed it. So good. All right, let's go back and capture some stuff. Need more Pokemon. Come here. What? What is happening? Don't kill me! Did I just drop all of our nets? Why is this not... Oh, I just read what it said. Okay, so we're going to unfortunately have to kill these. Here's what it said. You can change to a new type of net by right-clicking it in your inventory. Alright, so we killed more of what we came to capture, because I did not know how that worked. I didn't really want to capture that, did I? I panicked! I tossed it early! That's what I want to capture. Right there. Right there. Alright, this is that monster from earlier. So usually when your health drops real low, that's when the lights start to go out like that, if that makes any sense. But these little like tentacle things, that's like an effect that they have, is they make the lights go out a little bit, and they make it a little scary. It makes you think you're dying when you're really not, basically. Alright, so we did capture that sweet one. And now we gotta find the actual boss of this zone. I believe he's just up here. Oh, wow, that's a lot. See, if they hit you with that little burst of blue light, that's what makes you essentially go blind. That's the whole idea. Oh, I forgot. I keep forgetting. We gotta grab these dwellers, too. Got it. Alright, deep crustacean. Yeah, we're filling out this Pokedex super fast. Oh, we needed like multiple sea witches to make this recipe. They kill it too fast? Oh no, he's coming. He's coming. You can see they just kind of like stand there for a second. There we go. We'll grab that one. I believe that's 3, so I think we can go to the menagerie also and fight and make those gloves. Which I'm gonna do before we fight the dweller here, because he's standing right here. Let's do this. This is sweet. I'm a big fan of any league that involves lots of crafting stuff, because it just helps smooth out the leveling, helps make it a really fun process. The Essence League was my favorite ever. So it's nice that it's really smooth like that. Any sea... We have been capturing sea witches. Brilliant. Well, never mind on that. Sea witches are the ones that popped up in that tidal island with. These are not sea witches. Oops. There's the big guy. Yeah, he's pretty chilly too. I'm gonna give him the beat stick. There you go. There you go. Give him the old right there, Fred. There it is. Alright, he's down. We get nothing really. That's a cold resist ring. Still nothing red linked. None of that was great. We can take these. I don't really even want to identify these. I'm going to go check real quick and make sure we're not seeing Scrolls of Wisdom with this loot filter, because that would be bad. Alright, I don't see them so far. Okay, so we got... We're going to get out of here. Because our only other way out would be... Oh, hello. Our only other way out would be to use a portal scroll, and that would take us all the way back to town. We'd have to go all the way through the cavern again. I don't know that this is any faster, but it feels faster to just go back and then go from there. There it is. All right, so at least the filter we know now doesn't hide it. That's important. We just haven't been getting many. You'll get tons of them. Those aren't things that drop out either as you level, so we'll definitely get more of them throughout that process. You get lots of Scrolls of Wisdom. Oh, and I keep forgetting to use Ancestral Protector. I forgot we even got that. Here's what Ancestral Protector does. Pops this guy up there, and he just starts going to town. He does a good amount of damage. But basically, as long as you're near him, he will be attacking. If you go too far away from him, he will just stop. He misses you. Watch here. So he's attacking. If I get too far away, he just stops. So really good for dealing damage, really good for kind of tanking enemies for you. There are a lot of different kinds of totems in the game. Totem builds are some of my favorite. They're extremely endgame viable. And you can have things like decoy totems, which just like basically yell at monsters and make them attack them. You can get basically upgraded version of the Ancestral Protector called the Ancestral War Chief. That's another draw to the game that helps make it so customizable. Is you have totems that's their sole job is to hold skill gems and then use those skill gems themselves. Is this a beast? It totally is, but we're out of nets. That's a bummer. Wish there was a way. Actually, I should double check if there's not. Is there any way to call this guy here? There's not. That's a problem. Alright, we're going to go to town here because I did just see... Whoops. I did just see like one of those boss beasts up ahead. And I want to spend our little wisdom scroll and get some nets so that we can capture that Pokemon. There you are. Purchase the nets, please. I'd like to purchase the New Jersey nets. Thank you. Could sell those. Just being lazy because I want to get back to it. Alright. Selling better items like that, like magic items and rare items, doesn't give you scroll shards, they give you something else, so. Holy crap. I don't know what the... That's this guy, by the way. That's the special beast. He's using Putrid Flight. That's terrifying. Wow. So these things, like, they're called, I think the normal beasts are called, like, carrion something. If you have corpses on the ground like that, they consume the corpses and then chuck little meatballs at you or something. It's pretty weird, but... Try to start the capture. That didn't work. Can I capture him? There we go. Got him. Got him. Okay, so we're going to pause here for just a second. because we got, not only did we get a linked item, we got a nice chest piece. Both of these have the potential to be nice items for us, and all we need to do now is find some of those scrolls so that we can identify them and put them on, because you cannot put them on until they are identified. I'm going to go with our next couple levels up here to Heart of the Warrior, which gives us a bunch of life. And then we can go up here and get melee damage and start doing a little bit more damage too. That'll be our next stop. Hello, follow me please. Grouping enemies like this is pretty effective for AoE, as you can obviously see. Yeah, I'm just going to grab this for now because we can equip this. Pop the Ancestral Call over into this one. Put this guy on. Yeah. So I'll put this in here for a second because I want to highlight something. So we'll attach Heavy Strike to this because Heavy Strike only targets one thing. Target attacks. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this. Okay. So here's the thing with Ancestral Call. You have to look for some you have to look for interactions in this game and see how you can make things work, because you can do some really cool stuff if you get a little creative. So for instance, this was seen by the community pretty much right away, but technically this Molten Strike that we've been using, it attacks one target. It just pulls out all those little fire orbs, but it attacks one target, meaning Ancestral Call works with it. So even though it's like an AoE skill, it also gets the benefit of the AoE from Ancestral Call. That's super good. So check this out. Watch what happens when we go... Oh my gosh. Watch what happens when we go attack this. Look at all of the molten balls popping out now, because each one of those triggers an additional time for Ancestral Call. This got real dumb. So I believe if we take this, so you can grab shrines, and they give you benefits for a certain amount of time. This, right now, the shrine that we just grabbed makes all of our hits be critical strikes. So we're about to just wipe everything away. We're just going to run through here and just kill everything. The shrines are really good. If you notice, they can be really dangerous to get to because there were so many enemies around it. But if you can actually grab the shrine, you just kill everything. Grab these. 15 seconds left of this shrine. Oops. And I believe in a couple levels here we'll start to grab some movement skills. I think it's after we kill a boss that's coming up in a little bit. I think we grab our movement skill. And then we start going around real quick. Alright. So we've grabbed, I don't know if you've noticed, we've grabbed a few orbs here. And start to get into like the what the orbs do and how to use them. That seems good. Nice little weapon upgrade, hopefully, if it's a rare. I always grab Coral Amulets early on to look at, because the health regen is so important to like keep you from dying early on, because you just don't have the amount of leeching and all those types of things that you'll get early, or you'll get later. You just don't have them early on, so having just straight up life regen is big. Alright, the boss of the zone's up here. I don't know if he's capturable. He's not. Okay. That would be a little weird if he was able to be captured like a beast. I don't know how exactly you're supposed to fight this guy in like an arena. They just wheel him in on a cart and put him there. He's a little totem. So he throws out all these little sparks, which deal damage. This is another skill that you can get as a player, is the sparks. It's part of one of the most... This skill is one of the most broken builds that's ever existed in the game. They had to nerf it insanely. My favorite build of all time. We're going to pop this guy in here. He'll start doing damage. You'll see if you get in this medium range, he'll start throwing out shockwaves. Those hurt, so you want to get in. You want to get in real close. But yeah, we do a fair bit of damage with that Ancestral Call and the Heavy Strike, because it just deals a lot to him. So we kill him. We did gain a level. We'll get that Warrior's Blood. Get a bunch more life too. So we're pretty tanky for our level right now, which is nice to. It's a nice thing to be. I'll just say it like that. That's a nice thing to be. All right. So vendor recipes. There are combinations of items that you can put together and sell to a vendor to give you specific types of orbs or gear or items, anything like that. This is probably the most well-known and most common one. It's called the chromatic recipe, and if you sell to the vendor an item that is linked, and the links are one of each of the 3 colors, the vendor will give you a chromatic orb. And chromatic orbs are used on items to change the colors of them. So they're a very valuable item to use for endgame crafting. They're not very particularly expensive or hard to get, but they allow you to... What did I... It was ignited. All right. But they allow you to change colors and make the sockets whatever you need them to be. So, for instance, we just spent a long time looking for red linked. Imagine how difficult it is when you're trying to craft like a 5 linked piece of gear that needs like red, blue, green specifically. So chromatics are very useful end of the game. Notice the animation, by the way. I noticed this is pretty cool. The Ancestral Call. I don't think this animation used to exist at the very beginning, or if it did, I just have never noticed. But it actually creates 2 little red dudes that use the skill that I'm using when the Ancestral Call goes out. Look at those 2 little red guys. So when I use Molten Strike, it actually has the 2 little red guys doing it. Speaking of... I don't have any nets! Oh, this net thing is killing me. We just need Scrolls of Wisdom to buy a bunch of nets. I want to capture these little horseman cow things. We can go up here. Grab ourselves a little waypoint. There we go. These guys are good. Always kill blue packs. Their experience compared to normal types of enemies is just so absurdly high. Grab a Chancellor, grab a Portal Orb, Portal Scroll, Portal Orb. Portal Orb, I said. Alright. We keep killing stuff, doing damage. Silver coins are cool. So, silver coins, we're going to find out about them here in actually just a second. I didn't know you could pick them up before this thing up ahead. We're actually, like, pretty much on top of the event where you discover what the silver coins are for. Run real fast. There's another enemy. There's another big boss type. Oh, and there's another one. Might be time to take it. Once we clear out some of these lower enemies, might be time to take a portal scroll. Because I do want to capture some of these goat men. And definitely this. Grab it. Get in there. Alright. So when you pop back out of a portal scroll, or out of a portal, when we go back there's like a little grace period where we can't be attacked, which is really nice, until we move. The second we start doing something, they will attack us. We killed that crab, so he gives us the best thing you can get in the game, a Book of Skill. That's not true. It's the second best. There is a book that gives 2 skill points. So we pop that book. We have an immediate skill point. We'll use it on here, and just this little bit of experience. Oops, I keep scrolling down. It's that little bit of experience to go. Actually, I believe it's behind me on camera. And we'll be able to start doing some damage. We have 4 scrolls. Do I want to use it on any of these? I don't really think I do. I don't really think I do. I want to get more Pokemon. Oops. There we go. Alright, so we got some more nets. We're going to sell a couple of these things that I know we won't use. See, that gives the chromatic orb. This will give shards of transmutation for these. 20 shards of them, and you get one of these. Alchemy, or alterations, 20 shards of those gives you an alteration. We're just going to sell these because we're not going to use this stuff, and I don't want to waste a scroll on it that we need for the nets to identify it. So we'll go over here. This is the currency tab. I just control click and all of this goes into its appropriate slot in the currency tab. That I don't need. I could have just sold it, but I'm not going to go back and do it now. Alright, so yeah, this starts to fill out as you get kind of more currency in the game, but more importantly gives us a free inventory to go pick up more stuff. Alright, I'm going to toss a net on here right away as my first thing. Boom, net. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I keep forgetting you got to weaken them first. I don't know why I can't remember that. This is rough having both of these here. I'm gonna try to kill this one first, so I can take my try to kill the skeleton, so I can take my time and kill the other thing while I can capture it. There we go. Ooh, nice. All right, so let's weaken it. So these little floaty orbs around this guy are charges. The orange ones are endurance charges, and they make it so that he takes less damage, basically. What is this? Oh, tiger prey. That's weird. Okay, so that goes to you, and then that thing attacks. I get how that works. All right, time to capture it. One-handed axe. No, thank you. It's a distinct lack of the word two-handed in the description of that axe. All right. This is a big old area. A bunch of these guys. Can I get this recipe off the screen? How does this go off the screen? There we go. Oh, wow. I got a lot of recipes from that guy. I gotta capture this thing. Sweet. New recipe again. Rare bow. Not interested. New recipe again. Create or reroll a rare one-handed axe with critical strike chance. So that's, oh wow, reroll is really nice. We're getting 1,000,000 recipes. We must have captured something real special. That was claw. Apparently we just hit like a tier of unlocks. So once we clear out all those guys, there's this dude. He is super capturable. We only have 2. We're gonna try to pay attention this time and actually capture him when we can. Okay. Nailed it. Nailed it! So we have to capture him. Add a mod to a flask. What is the of heat mod? Of dowsing. Dowsing puts you out when you're on fire, I believe. What is heat? Oh, heat must get rid of your chill. I'm assuming we're gonna get, yep, staunching stops bleeding. So you can start to learn what the affixes and suffixes and all the stuff do on gear. Grounding, I believe, removes shock, which is the lightning effect, which makes you take a bunch more damage. Curing, I have no idea. I think it's poison.
Thank you for free.
This lady gives you prophecies. So you can talk to her and pay her those silver coins that we keep getting, and she will give you a prophecy, which is just something that will happen in the game. And if you complete the prophecy, something cool happens. For the most part. We are getting never-ending. I don't even know what we did to get all these. We captured like 2 things. Any rare creature with mod putrid flight. We killed that. Okay. How many recipes have we unlocked? Maybe this is bugged and we've only gotten like a couple. Yeah, I'd say we unlocked a few recipes here. Wow. Quicksilver flask with adrenaline. Oh, we need to kill 1 more goatman and we can find that and get another quicksilver. And adrenaline, I believe, I believe the mod adrenaline that we saw on that, adrenaline is movement speed focused. So if we capture 1 more goatman, which sweet. So adrenaline, man, this league is sweet. Adrenaline is speed based, so I believe this is going to give us a quicksilver flask, which is the ones that increase your speed. This thing that also has a mod on it that further increases our speed. So we will just be sprinting around the map. Come on, can I go in there? So if we can get this item, this is going to make for some really smooth running around, which is really nice. We'll go in here, kill this thing. Should probably put the skill point on right here. Boom. Accuracy, attack speed, damage, and strength. I want all of that. Where do we get this? Okay, so these are just any creatures. Add a mod to a flask. I got you. Create a leveling item. Which is nice. That's the one we want right here. Oh my gosh. This is terrifying. We have to kill them both? I forgot about that. So we can just start going heavy striking on these guys, because this heavy strike attacks both of them because we have the Ancestral Call. Oh my gosh, we're just crushing. That mod added a lot. That 1 skill point added a lot of damage. Wow. Yep, so we get 40% increased movement speed and then another 21% on top of that. That is a sick, sick flask. Alright, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're dropping that. Yep. That's what we're doing. Alright. Do I want to identify any of these? Not really, and I only have 1 scroll. Alright. Nope. We have no Pokeballs right now. So I'm going to have to be a little bit, I don't know. Not the end of the world. I think we captured everything we can capture in this zone pretty much. Can't capture these. They're not beasts. Alright, we're in the prison. Everyone's dream, getting into prison. We got there. By the way, I wanted to say thank you. I have no idea if he's watching right now or not. Humongous thank you to TFA Paladin, who was a subscription while we were offline yesterday. It was our second subscription for the channel. Greatly appreciate it. Paladin, I know who you are, by the way. Obviously not going to say your name, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. Really good friend of the stream. Portal scroll. Alright. And we get our first master. So these are guys that pop up in different zones. They just kind of appear. And they have a quest for you to complete. And if you can complete that quest, you get some experience with them. And once you get a certain amount of experience with them, these necromancers are annoying. They raise skeletons back to life until you kill them. That's a chromatic orb. Yes. So the masters will have a quest for you.
Yes, I call you warrior. Your eyes have already...
When we complete this quest, which in his case, his quests revolve around escorting this escorting a Karui spirit back to the entrance of this dungeon. So we'll go all the way to the end, and then he'll want us to escort something back to the beginning. And if we do that, we get experience with him and rep and all these things. And then if we get enough rep, he will basically create a hideout that we can use, which can be like our hub of... He also has like crafting materials and things that he can give you access to. And we'll eventually be able to create a hideout where we can get access to all of the masters that we have reputation with and all of their crafting benches and all kinds of things like that. It basically becomes your own personal little hub if you don't want to be around people in the main town. Plus you can customize it with some really cool stuff. Hideouts are pretty sweet. Run. I don't know where this spirit is. I'm guessing it's this way. So once you take these Karui spirits, like once you actually pick them up and start to escort them, a couple things happen. One is you cannot use movement skills because using a movement skill will actually drop the spirit. Another thing is they fight you while you're trying to capture it because it's being controlled by something else. So it's not necessarily great. Get our own little totem in here. Okay. So as soon as I pick this little guy up, it's going to start a countdown, I believe, and we have to get... Maybe it's not a countdown. It just starts reviving things. This is the most common thing that it does. When you pick it up, it starts reviving the things that you killed earlier. And then they fight you on the way back out. So they try to make it really difficult for you to get back out with this thing. But luckily, movement flasks are not movement skills. So you can still use a movement flask if you have charges. You just can't use specifically movement skills, which are things that we'll be getting access to soon. I believe in the next zone, maybe even. I think it's the when we start to pick up movement skills. So we give it to him. We get some rep with him. We're almost at level 2. You have to get to level 3 to make the hideout. We'll get there. First, we need to get to the next level of the dungeon. Prison. Oh, we get nets. That's kind of cool when they drop because I didn't have any. I wonder how if they drop in like stacks of multiples, because that definitely just gave us one. But we can do our first labyrinth trial. Talk about the labyrinth. So there's 6 different zones throughout the game. Actually, that might have changed with the last content upgrade. They're in different zones throughout the game. You'll see these trials pop up. What the trials is they're kind of puzzles. I know this one, so I can kind of run. I just follow these spikes around to this lever, which opens this door. So now we got to be careful because now we got to go back, and these things try to get us. These are basically puzzles. When you take damage in these things, the damage is life percentage based, not total damage. So what that essentially means is no matter how much health you have, you'll take basically the same amount for getting hit with these things, which means just you got to be smart in them. And then completing these challenges, like this one is super simple. It was literally just, I think it's just that. I got to kill a couple of monsters, and then it was pretty much only that. Oh no, it's this thing. Yeah, so you get through these trials just like this. Kill the stuff if you want to. I do just because it gets me experience. Rare necromancers are super annoying because they take forever to kill, and the whole time you're killing them, they're resurrecting stuff, which you then have to kill again. So you touch the plaque, and it gives you one of these. So what these trials give you access to eventually is something called the laboratory, which is some content that you run through, and you fight a boss as you run through them. And at the end of it, as long as you defeat the boss, you will get a bunch of loot at the end, and you will, depending on which difficulty you are running, you will get the ability to add an enchantment to a piece of your gear. That's really important. Also, you'll get keys as you go through the dungeon and as through the labyrinth, and you will be able to spend those keys. Well, this guy does a lot of damage. This guy does a lot of damage. I always forget about him until he's smacking me in the face. Always. Problem is that he attacks with like a freaking frost hammer thing, so when he hits you, it just slows you down. Or you can just beat him up. So yeah, when you get to the labyrinth, it's doing all these trials gives you access to it, and it just gives you a bunch of loot, gives you a bunch of experience. There are tons of people that have characters where the whole goal of that character is to turn them into someone that can farm certain difficulties at the lab. I have had characters like that before. They are fun, and you can make a lot of money in the labs if you can farm them effectively. We already completed his thing. I don't know why I thought we had changed levels, and maybe we got him again. There we go. So we'll go to the upper prison. The upper prison is where the bosses live. There we go. Now we get the skeletons that shoot stuff at us. Very rude. Uncalled for. So necromancers to a certain extent can like sense when things have died as well. So like they'll come, even if you like kill stuff in another room that's near them, they'll come around the corner or wherever to try to resurrect them. They'll come through doors. So unless you want to get like surprise sneak attack from behind, which few people like, you want to be careful about leaving too many of these alive, or leaving a necromancer alive in that area, because you can come back to the area, backtrack later, and find everything is back. And everything else from the other room moved into this room, and now you're in trouble. Right, we have a skill point. Where do we want to go with this? Should I come back up here? Alright, I think we want to get to... This Carnage starts to give us attack leech. Are we going to end up using a shield, or are we going to go two-handed all the way? So some of these decisions you kind of want to plan out ahead of time. The reason being they're modified. They start to get very specific. So for instance, this is 12% armor is very general. 2% additional chance to block with shields, pretty specific, particularly if you don't have a shield. Like this thing is really good if we're going to stay two-handed weapons. I would guess we're going to end up going shield because we're in hardcore mode. We don't want to die, and I would guess that probably even maybe pretty soon we're going to be swapping over to shield. So I'm not going to go for this two-handed buff thing. I will go for the one-handed, which gives really nice buffs. And we can't... So this is where the one-handed benefits start. Make sure we're not getting attacked. This is where the one-handed benefits start. This is just general melee physical damage, which we can take without losing anything. So we're going to definitely take that. And I think, yeah, probably, maybe even as soon as when we transition out of this, or maybe around Act 2 or something, somewhere soon, we're going to be swapping over to the one-hander shield, and then we can also make sure that our movement skill matches that, so we can take something like shield dash, which is really good, or shield charge. I think I'm remembering that right. I think it's shield dash, which is really good. Probably the best movement skill in the game currently. All right, kill the necromancer. So strong boxes have loot inside them. The different types of strong boxes have different types of loot, which you can figure out what type of loot it is by this first word here. When you click on them, they will spawn a bunch of monsters that you have to defeat. And once every monster that it spawns is dead, it will open and you will get your loot. The issue is that, if you'll notice, they're treated like items in that they are unidentified if they're magic, rare, or unique. So they all have effects on them, and the worst ones are the ones that say when you open it, it freezes your character. So you can just unexpectedly find yourself completely frozen and literally surrounded by 30 or so enemies and die really quickly. It's a really common way to die in hardcore. I'm not really worried about it at the moment because we have high health. Yep, freezes you inactivated. Look at that. Look at this example. So yeah, in that case, if that was like, say, you know, a later level, you were running like a maps or endgame content, and it froze you in a second, and all those guys shot at you, that's a really good way to get your hardcore character permanently downgraded to the standard league and not in hardcore anymore. So you need to be careful with strong boxes, but they can give you some really cool stuff. You stink. So Sawbones is like the boss of this zone. I don't know if you saw, he's actually got the orange like boss text to him, and he continuously summons skeletons, which is horrifically annoying. I constantly have to stop fighting him to clear out stuff, which he just resurrects anyway. But the build's working out pretty good, and we took him down pretty quick. So we're looking for the way out now. We're looking for the door to face the boss of the dungeon. Although it wouldn't hurt to get a little bit more experience because I am very close to a level. Okay. There we go. Oh, jeez. Level 12? I didn't pay attention to what level we are. We're way too high for this. Alright. I'm going to take... Where would we go after this? Down to shields. Yeah, down to... So I'm going to take this armor. Just because we're not on a one-hander yet, so I don't want to waste this node and get, like, no benefit out of it at all. But if we're going to swap, we should probably swap pretty soon, because it's going to... We're going to have some nodes upcoming that are going to be based on what type of thing we're using. And it's not that big of a deal. You can get respec points. So these choices aren't permanent by any means. That one zone that we skipped, the reason I skipped it, this thing back at the beginning, that secondary zone off the main path, the reason I skipped it is because it's a quest that rewards you with respec points, where I can take my skill points that I've put in and take them out and reassign them, as long as the paths remain unbroken, obviously, from skill point to skill point. But you don't really need them early on. Like, we're not looking to remove our skill points yet, so we don't really need any passive respec points at the moment, and we are on our way in to fight the Warden, the boss of the Act 1 prison. Quick overview of the fight. The Warden has a hook that he will throw out if you're too far away to try to pull you into him. He has a slam where he will slam the ground, and it will deal damage out in like in a cone area from where he slammed it. That deals really high damage at earlier levels. Take that to get chromatic. Got a lot of gear to sell. You basically follow the path of blood all the way in there. Pretty much how this works. That's a dead guy. Alright, so we're going to fight the Warden here. I'm going to walk in there. First thing I'm going to do is pop down a portal scroll. So if we need to get out quick, we can. And I'm going to get this guy starting to attack him. So there's this little cone attack. He hits you pretty hard. He pulled us in with the shield there, and then he'll pop up spikes on the ground. His cone attack is pretty slow. You can see it coming right there, so you try to get out of the way. Try to make him use his hook and not hit us. There's the hook. Go in for some damage. Get out of the way there. Should probably be using Heavy Strike. That makes sense. So now that he's at half health, he starts to spawn skeletons too. That is an advantage for us because even though they do some damage, what skeletons do is they provide bodies to recharge your flasks. Some of the hardest parts about boss fights. Got a little excited there. Floss fights are a different battle. Some of the hardest parts about boss fights are that you run out of charges in your flasks if you're not careful. So the fact that he spawns adds once he hits like his half health mode is super beneficial to us because it lets us fill back up on our flasks and keep going with our damage. So one thing we're going to start looking for is a decent shield and a decent one-handed weapon because we do want to swap over pretty soon to start taking advantage of some of the passive points we're going to be grabbing. So I'll take a flyer on a one-handed axe there. We'll go to the prisoner's gate. We're out of the prison. We're in kind of the second part of Act 1. Oops. Went the wrong way. Alright, so talk to him for the reward. Talk to him. What do you want?
I knew you would pass this way, Exile.
The Burning Man. Oh boy.
He looks, yes? There are more powerful beasts nearby.
So he's got 2 beasts for us to take down. He gives us better nets, which is great because we already had. We were way ahead of him there on the whole net thing. We have a shield, but it only gives energy shield and increased spell damage. It's not the type of shield we want. That's a shield for like a tanky spellcaster because it gives spell damage. And we are doing melee damage, so we're gonna go see if we can maybe even buy or figure out how to craft a decent shield. So this is the guy we met and talked to. He doesn't really have anything. All right, we get a reward: Rallying Cry, Leap Slam, or Shield Charge. Look at that. We're going to take Shield Charge. And hopefully we're going to take a shield. Big old Tower Shield, plus 18 to max life is a nice start. Costs us 1 Orb of Transmutation. First we should sell some of this gear that we're not going to use. I am going to check, because this is pure armor, I'm going to check and see if this has movement speed. It doesn't, so we'll sell it. I'll check with armor stuff. Like, normally I don't like spending a Scroll of Wisdom on that, but I'll check just to see, because if it had movement speed, it's better to have full armor, because that's the build that we're going. Yeah. So, we have a terrible weapon we've been using since basically level, like, 2. Requires level 8, requires level 12. Oh, no, we need a one-hander now. Almost forgot, we're swapping over. So this will be a fine weapon. We don't have enough dexterity. So you start to meet requirements that are tough, because different types of weapons require different stats. This axe requires some dexterity to use because it's one-handed. We do not currently have that, so we will either need to raise our dexterity, find an item that raises it, use a passive point, or find a different weapon. For instance, the Jade Hatchet is decent, but we'd rather just increase our dexterity to be able to use a better weapon. This is just a straight-up 2% increase. Really need that. Alright, so we will grab this Tower Shield, because that's really nice. It also has that plus to life. And we can use one of our crafting things to see how that start to see how crafting works, because crafting is a huge part of this game. We killed the warden, so we get I think we're just gonna take melee splash, because what are we using? We're kind of using Molten Strike. Added fire seems good. Melee splash seems insane. Let me just do a quick check here, make sure melee splash works. With that, real quick, so melee splash, Molten Strike. I believe it works. If it works, we're taking it, because that's nuts. Melee splash works on the initial hit of Molten Strike. I'm in. Super in. Alright, we're taking melee splash. Because again, it's really good if you can have a high single target. At least this is... I think this still holds up. It's really good if you can have a high single target skill that will directly do a bunch of damage to something in front of you. Oh yeah, for real. Yeah, crafting is definitely a trap. It's a little bit less of it when you can control the mods with the Bestiary, but I just want to show in general, because a lot of the people watching, at least some of them I know, have not played the game before, so we're kind of showing them as we go through. Melee Splash we can put with Ancestral Call, our Molten Strike, and we'll just pop it in there. So we deal just a lot of AoE damage right now, which is kind of what you want. There's nothing like crazy boss fight that we need to prep for, but Let's see if we can do something about our dexterity here. So, we only have strength and intelligence next in here. None of these, I believe, give dexterity at all. Yeah, for real, Bully Hunter definitely, like, especially in the leveling process, you just outgear your, you out level your gear so quickly that crafting is a huge trap in most situations. But I want to show, for instance, okay, so this is a, if you see the name, it's a gray piece of gear. It's a normal item. This is our first look at, so the Orb of Transmutation upgrades a normal item to a magic item. So if I right-click this, click the Tower Shield, it upgrades it, and now this is the base thing that already had that, plus 18 to max life, and it adds modifiers to it. So it becomes a little bit better, gives us a little more life, a little something nice. I'm gonna not equip it at the moment, only because we can't really use it if we can't find a decent. Ours level 6. It actually, I think it still does more. I mean, it does basically this. It does the same damage as what we're doing because we were using a really, really bad weapon. So we'll pop this on just so we can start taking the nodes that we want, and we'll try to see if we can increase our dexterity to be able to equip that. So we're going to pop the rest of our currency in our stash tab, and we'll get back to the leveling here. Shield charge is our movement skill now, so now that we have a shield, we want that. Don't want it in that slot, I'll tell you that much. Let's go here and here. Right, so just moving skills around a little bit. Yeah, nothing with dexterity yet in here to get, so we'll look for it. That's the upper prison. Alrighty. So we'll look for something with dexterity, and we'll be looking for, there's two things that he wants us to capture in this zone. So we'll be looking for that. We're definitely going to capture this guy. Yeah, we do a little bit of damage now. That's a nice little damage increase. These are new. I'm going to save our nets just a little bit to make sure that we get the things that we want. Because right now we are still, for whatever reason, just have not been looting a lot of wisdom scrolls yet. So we're actually like not super stocked on those. So here's where the disadvantages and advantages of some different movement skills come into play. So we got offered a skill called Leap Slam, which lets us basically jump and slam our weapon down and do damage, but more importantly, it's a very popular move skill because it lets you jump up ledges. So if we had Leap Skill, Leap Skill. If we had Leap Slam, we could just jump from this ledge up here and not have to do this whole thing, which is walk around. Again, the whole point of the movement skill is to mitigate some of that, so we can just, we can start moving around. We don't have high attack speed yet, but we can move around using this. The advantage to all these come in later when you have very high attack speed, because it is an attack skill that you're using, and if you have high attack speed, it lets you use that skill and move around the map extremely quickly. Kill him, and then we'll open up this little chest here. Hopefully it doesn't freeze us like the last one. So it casts Firestorm. So we'll step out of that, and we'll... Oh, this guy. This is the Burning Menace. This is one of the beasts that he wanted us to capture and kill. So we'll get him a little lower. Oops. Don't want to do that. Toss this out, and we got him. One-handed mace. Oh, that's like the basic one. I don't want that, really. Alright. Last time we captured a couple beasts, it opened up like 30 crafting recipes, so we'll see how many this gives us. One-handed mace. Maces aren't great. But if they do damage, I'm in. It's like not nearly as many recipes as last time. So if we get close, we try to use this gate to get to our next area, and this piety person closes it off, which is just really not a nice thing to do. It's fine, you'll find out later. She is the worst! She's the worst! Piety's the worst. Alright, kill this stuff. I could capture these, but again, I want to save my nets for like the little skull monsters on the map, or the things that he wants us to capture for part of the quest. We're going to level up our gems. Alright. Let's... These are not high damage. I don't think these are like level appropriate for us right now. We are, because I've been going through kind of slowly as we've been explaining stuff and killing things. Yeah, so I want to capture this guy with that. Whew. Very fire. Got it.
You are well prepared.
Hey, a rustic sash. So that could be better than what we have now. It is fire resistance, and it deals physical damage back to attackers.
The menace is now mine to worry about. At least until you wish to sacrifice it.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he just asked me to come visit something in his menagerie, so that's kind of a weird request. He still wants us to kill one more thing. I don't know if this is... Actually, I should look at if this is in this zone or not, that he wants us to kill this Ungulath thing. If I actually get a break from this. These mobs, I can check it. There we go. So, his hunt... Where is it? His hunt... Yeah, it's in this zone. So there's... I'm glad we saved the net, because there is one more thing that we want to capture in this zone somewhere with it, rather than using it on just a little thing. Take it chromatic early on, given that we don't have currency. So this is where, now that I've explained a little bit of the currency system, this is where we're a little bit behind because we didn't play the very beginning of the league. The league started, I believe, a little over a month ago, actually. So we are behind in terms of currency. Like, where's the rest of this guy's pack? That's weird. So I'll have to build. Ooh, hello. So we'll build up currency, and we're just, a little bit behind the 8 ball there. All right. There we go. There's our first, like, real solid orb. Orbs of fusing are solid. They trade. So, similarly to how we have, I guess that would have been a bad analogy. I'm abandoning that analogy. The main currency that you'll see used at like the end game, or I guess I would call it higher levels of play. This is the other guy I want to capture. The biggest currency that you'll see traded in normal amounts, it's like the normal standard for the currency, is what's called the Chaos Orb. Whoops. So I'll just spam my totem for a while, I guess. Oh, that was close. Why don't I just open up 8 menus before I capture him and almost missed him. Alright, we got him. That was real close.
Aina does not like the goats that walk like me. You want me to give you a reward? Humans
Alright.
prepare,
So, yeah. Let's just check and see if we don't have any recipes currently that we can make. So, rare weapon with fire damage, lightning damage, 2 spells, which we don't want at all. We never did get those gloves yet. Create or reroll. Okay, those are all. So yeah, it's this interesting stuff. I don't know how good it is yet. We'll have to see how much we use this crafting stuff, at least in the leveling process, I'll say. Oh, you know what I should do is buy more. I should buy more nets from him. I should buy more nets because I need them. Purchase 3 for now. Yeah, 3 for now. So we keep our shield or our very limited scrolls of wisdom. That way, at the very least, if we want to buy more, we can capture one thing and he'll pop up and we can buy more. All right. There we go. Take those out. So we'll go to the next area. We're getting close to the end of Act 1. The ship graveyard, and then from there we go into the Caverns of Wrath. It's either Caverns of Wrath and then Anger, or Anger and then Wrath. In some order, but that's the area where we'll finish up Act 1 and move into Act 2. Kill a couple of these guys. See if there's ghosts. Hello there. There's our waypoint. There is a quest in this zone that will, if we complete it, it will give us a skill point. So those are important ones to do. So we'll do that unless we have to go super out of our way. Seeing Haku again is nice because we do want to get to the level 3 master so that we can get a sweet old hideout. Hideouts are awesome. I explained them a little bit. They're just like your hub to hang out. You get your, you do a lot of your trading and kind of crafting type stuff there. I cannot believe we got this far without finding another life flask, or another decent life flask. Here we go. Nothing. Narrow passageways in these kinds of caverns are kind of annoying because they can stack up a lot, so you can't really move. These are the sea witches. These are some of the things that we wanted to capture to get that, like, crafting weapon with cold damage. That was a few levels ago. I don't know enough about the menagerie thing to know, like, if you craft certain things, if they're level appropriate or if they always stay at that certain level range. So I'm not going to actively, like, go after that thing right now. I'm just going to complete this quest and get the heck out of here. Too far away, huh? There we go. There we go. Carved wand. I'll take the axe so we can look at that. I'll take the portal scroll, and then let's get that out of here. So yeah, these all changed. Like, both of the ones that we've gotten so far with the Haku spirits have been the ones like this that basically reanimate everything that you've killed. It's really dangerous in passageways like that. Because what can happen in some of these passageways is if you come up on the monsters at the wrong time, you can resurrect monsters, like, say, in this passage. You could resurrect monsters that have died in a big pack that are in front of you, and if you do that, you can cut yourself off to the point where you can't move forward. There's really no reason that you shouldn't be able to kill all this stuff anyway, like, and just get out from killing it. Okay, another putrid flight thing. These things are... It doesn't really deal a lot of damage. It's just terrifying to look at. Do that. Toss the trap on them. And get them. Sweet. We're getting the hang of it. Filling out the Pokedex. Sweet. Alright, so we've got a bunch more. We can start thinking about these. I still don't really think we need to capture the Sea Witches. I don't think that rare weapon is going to do us a whole lot of good. What we really need more than anything else is dexterity so that we can start equipping the better weapons. So the next time we go back to town, and obviously as we keep going, we'll just look for something that can increase our dexterity, even if it's just a short-term fix so that we can start equipping a better weapon, doing a little bit more damage, and progressing a little faster. We could do that right now because I do have a skill point to spend. We could spend it on one of the dexterity nodes. Ooh, there. It's funny how quickly I've been playing the Bestiary League for under 2 hours, and it's amazing how quickly I've just started seeing Scrolls of Wisdom as nets. I don't even think about them as, like, currency other than just converting them to nets. The net to scroll ratio is my whole life now. Can never have enough Pokeballs. Alright, let's kill this thing. See, this is our single target's not great, which is what I want to hopefully address by just being able to get, like, some decent weapons. Alright, we don't need to kill all this stuff. Just by getting, like, some decent weapons. Something with attack speed would also be nice, because the faster our attack speed is, the faster we shield charge around. Which, I don't know why I keep hitting this. I think I used to have it... It must be I swear it's muscle memory, because... It doesn't lead anywhere. I thought that was a passage. Every time I want to go shield charge, I think about shield charging, and my finger just hits C. So I'm thinking I must have had that bound to C when I used to play a lot before. It's the only explanation I can come up with. Otherwise, I'm just crazy and I'm just smashing buttons for no reason. Is there anything even up here? There's not. This is like a dead end. This is a weirdly shaped zone. Alright, whatever. We'll kill this stuff and move on. Okay. Where are we going from here? This shield charge is embarrassingly slow. Level those up. Fairgraves is up here. He gives you... He's the guy we return... When we do the quest we're going to do for the skill point, we end up returning an item to him. But we have to actually find... There's like a ship that we need to go into to be able to do this thing. Any of you want to drop some kind of dexterity item? No? Okay, cool. I tried. What we want is, I believe it's a jade necklace. It's a necklace that just gives dexterity. It's not great, but it would serve our purposes. This looks like it's the cavern, so we're gonna go there when we're done with this quest. But I do want the skill point. No reason not to get it, unless it's just apparently just doesn't exist. All right. So we gained another level. I think we're just... There it is. I knew as soon as we... All we had to do was, like, mention the fact that it doesn't exist, and it pops up immediately. That's how these things work. Robo Rich, thank you for the follow, man. Greatly appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. I did stumble over it the other night. We were trying to come up with, like, a name to welcome. You know what I mean? Like, I mentioned the other night, my favorite streamer, Co Carnage, has the coalition, like a fancy name for, you know, the group of like followers and subscribers and all that. Don't have that yet, so welcome to the channel. Greatly appreciate the follow. All right, let's get the skill point out of the way. You should see the other ones. All you gotta do is subscribe. You get to see the other ones. All right, let's get some dexterity in here. Topaz ring, most likely not gonna have it, but check. That's just cruel that it gives intelligence. Alright. I'm trying to let my whole setup fall over here. Let's get... Can we even get dexterity from here? We can't. Are you kidding me? We can get intelligence. Does this give it... Oh, okay. You know what? We're going to take this for now. It's a band-aid, but we can get the refund points later. We'll get accuracy and reduce both of these are the same. This gives us attack speed also, which is really nice for the shield charge, and it gives us a lot of the... attribute requirements we need, so we'll check out the rare axe first. Oh, okay. Okay, so what you're looking for on weapons, most of all, is increased damage, at least at the beginning. Like, increased damage just means you're doing more with every hit, and all of this added damage is really nice on top of it, too. Lightning damage can give the shock status effect, which increases the amount of damage you deal to something. It gives attack speed. This gives life on kill. This weapon is phenomenal. And we're going to check out this tower shield as well. 14 life gained when you block. Gives strength, gives armor. Doesn't give quite as much max life as this, but that's a better shield overall. We're taking that shield to the bank. Wow, we just got 2 big upgrades. Let's see the shield charge now. I mean, it's a little faster. It's a little faster. Get us around the map a little bit. Pokemon! I don't want to capture any of these yet. These aren't important. I've noticed, like, as soon as we start capturing stuff like this, we find the big, like, the skull monsters that we want to capture, and I'm out of... I only have 2 nets right now. What was that? Oh. The flicker, guys. That was a weird animation. Thought we killed something cool. Alrighty. Is this capturable? It is. How is that not capturable? I thought the sea witches were, but maybe I'm wrong. Wow, we demolished. This does so much damage. What is this? Oh, this is a rogue exile. So you'll see every once in a while you'll run into these guys. They're basically... They're created to be almost like player characters. They have skills that you would have. They have actual, like, a full set of gear that drops when they die. They're made to be kind of like you, and very dangerous. That wasn't, because we did so much damage that I didn't even realize he was there. Yikes, our damage went through the roof compared to what we had before. I'm going to put this old thing back. So our DPS right now, it's not entirely accurate because you have all the balls that come out, but just for comparison, DPS right here is 108.4. If we put on our old weapon, DPS goes to 42. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that weapon's a little bit of an upgrade. It's like just a bit. Just a scotch of an upgrade. All right. We're gonna go drop this all flame item off that we. This is absurd. We are gonna roll this Act 1 boss so hard. We're like over leveled for the content because we've been like taking it slow, explaining stuff, going through game concepts. Look at this. That's just a hot knife through butter right there. Alright, so we kill this guy. We try to turn him... Basically, we try to turn this quest into him. He gets all mad and tries to kill us, and we kill him. Ooh, hello. So, when we go back to town, which we might even... Where is this next area? The next area is... It's over here, isn't it? Nope, that's where we came in. We want to go down and around. Alright, we're going down here. Once we get to the next area, we'll go back to town. We'll sell stuff. I said that just for you. It's become an official like unit of measure in my head. And I always give credit where it's due when I say it. Yeah, doubling is a scotch, right? That's the official unit of measurement for doubling something. All right, we'll go back to town. We'll get a few more upgrades, and then we will keep going. Oof, that's a question for scholars, my friend. That's not a question for lowly humans. That's a tough one. I don't even know which one's bigger. I think you got all that spelling right. Spectral Shield. Oh my gosh, is this a new skill? I've never seen this before. So Spectral Throw has been in the game, I believe, since the beginning. Two scopes. I like that. That, you know what? That sounds right. Like I don't want to. Don't quote me on it. But I believe those are the official. Those are what's in the back of those like school notebooks. The staticky looking ones, the white and black ones. I think that have the all the conversion charts in the back. I think that's what's in it. So Spectral Throw was in the original game where you throw in the original game. It's been in the game since the start, where you throw a copy of your weapon out, like basically a ghost copy of your weapon. You throw it out, it deals damage the whole way out, and then it comes back to you. And it's been a really popular build for a long time. People so you throw multiple versions, and they do all kinds of things. But I didn't know Spectral Shield Throw was a thing. So throws a spectral copy of your shield as a projectile, which cannot pierce, deals offhand damage, augmented by the so it deals like damage based on the defense of the shield. When it collides, it will shatter, launching shards as projectiles. Yeah, that was the question I had. That's a bummer. Thank you for letting me know that, because I've never. That's new to me. All right, none of these are like good for our build. I know likey face in. Where do you want me to put this? Where do I put this? I'm not covering up the mana. I'm not covering up the. I might probably cover up the mana. Thank you for the input. I appreciate it. I think I might move it off to the right and try to cover up the mana. It is a little bit distracting. Let's try this. Let's go. Whoop. All right. Way over here. That works. No one wants to see how much mana I have. All right. We'll go with the sweep. Let's grab this. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't really matter what we grab. None of these are really for our build. So, we'll sell some of this stuff that we don't need anymore. Clear up space because these shields take up a ridiculous amount of inventory space. We don't need this. That's quality. So there are. You generally want to keep quality. Well, if you're interested in getting some different items and vendor recipes, if you keep quality gear and you sell them back, the max quality you can have on something is 20. So if you to the left, just like a what's that? I think that was like a titch and a half. All right, we'll do that. We'll do 1.5 titches to the left. So if you sell quality gear, 20 is the highest amount of quality you can have on something, 20%. And quality does different. It just makes things better. But also you can sell items back to vendors in quality totals of 20 for better gear. So for instance, you can sell like flasks, quality 20 flasks for better flasks. I forget what. I think it's better flasks. I'll have to look up. It's like I said, it's been a while. I used to know all the recipes by heart, which is really sad that I don't anymore. We're keeping these in our inventory to look at stuff. But basically, selling stuff back can give you better gear if you sell quality stuff. From him, we'll get the passive skill points. Let's look at where we want to go next. Oh yeah, we're on our way up to Butchery. If she sells a... She does. We don't really need the life regen. We have tons of life regen. Let's grab... Wow, we still have, like, real bad gear on. We haven't needed any good gear. Let's grab this Jade Amulet. What does it cost? Or transmute? When you buy these from the vendor, by the way, they don't need to be in your inventory. I don't know if you noticed. It's whited out because it'll take it from our stash. Let's grab this. That way we can do the following. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go right here to the coast. And we're going to go basically get our skill points back so that we can use them on something more productive. We're going to go clear this little fetid pool area. We'll be able to basically one-shot... I mean, we'll literally be able to one-shot everything in here. Generally, the fetid pool is this way. Some of my sense of direction is off because they did change where some things are located. When they kind of did like an update to the map. Some of the things are now in different locations than where they were for a few years. But for the most part, yeah. So we'll head into the fetid pools. And basically what you have to do in here is there's a necromancer in the back of these pools that you'll have to kill. But then also, once you kill a necromancer, it'll tell you that you need to kill every single monster in the area. So I just start from left to right, and we'll go around, we'll kill a necromancer. We'll circle around, and once everything is gone, we'll be able to go turn this quest in. I can capture one of these? That would be fun. That thing killed itself by attacking us because we deal that damage back to attackers. Look at this. They're damaging themselves. That's hilarious. Alright. Yeah, one of our items deals damage back. I believe it's referred to as the Thorns effect. I don't know if that's still even a thing at all. Yeah. Do that. Here we go. That's a thing we can capture. That's fun. I don't want to do so much. Hey, our first unique! Ooh. First unique. In this league at least. This is... Yeah, Wanderlust. So, the function of these boots, these are like incredibly good leveling boots because early on, the attributes that you can get on items are capped at certain levels. So, like, at lower levels, boots can only go up to a certain amount of movement speed, and that amount is really low. Wanderlust has 20% movement speed and a bunch of mana regen. It also has dexterity, which is very good for us. And basically, it's just the fastest boots you can get at low level. So they're a very popular leveling item. Like, look at this. Once we turn on our flask, you just fly. Again, it just makes leveling so much less of a run around and do nothing and more of a get to the action and do stuff. So Wanderlust are going on because they're really good. And you really don't notice, like, at later levels, you wouldn't be able to get away with stuff like this as often because once enemies start doing real scary amounts of damage or even in boss fights, you kind of don't want to have items on like that are not really items that are good for your build. They're just leveling gear, but for now it's fine. Alright, kill these. So you can always type /remaining and see how many monsters are left to kill. If it's over 50 is the cutoff, so if there's over 50 things alive in a map, it'll just say more than 50 remain. There we go. Killed everything. Alright. We're just going to take a portal scroll. We've already gotten a bunch of these. Cool. So we'll get our refund points back. The whole reason to do that is to get the turn in here, which gives you Book of Regrets, gives you 2 refund points. And grab that, which we can use to refund this and this. I believe just getting that dexterity... Actually, let's look at here. So this requires 19 dex. And yeah, getting that 5 dexterity from the Wanderlust actually puts us right at 19, so we didn't even need to put this thing on. That was a pretty good drop. Okay, yes. So in the passive tree, now we have 3 points to spend. We can go right up to Butchery, which gives us attack speed, a bunch of fizz damage. That's really solid. And then where we're going to go from here is we could go to Barbarism, which is life, fire resist, and max. So that plus 1% to max fire resist is massive. Doesn't seem like it. It's freaking massive. Diamond skin is like a maybe. I don't really like taking resist in the tree, but okay. Resist will matter a crap ton later. Right now, not really that big of a deal. Do we still have an iron ring on? We still have 2 iron rings on. So is this... That was a lot of things that popped up in my face. Sure. Light radius. Best thing ever. Light radius. Alright, let's go to Merville's Caverns. Yep. Let's see if he's got even, like, a little bit decent gear. Because if he has upgrade... Like, we're carrying, like, level 1 found on the beach with hillock type gear right now. You can pop that out, put that in there. If he even has, like, just anything... Do you have anything that does anything? No, we don't need it right now. Yeah, okay. We're out. We can kill him easily with this. Yeah, let's go. So we gotta go through this Cavern of Wrath into, I believe it's just called the Cavern of Anger. And, whoops. And we'll...
We knew in our
Okay. There's some interesting story with her, with the person we're going to fight to finish out Act 1. There's really kind of interesting story with her later. It's not super relevant right now. Alright, we'll kill this stuff. We'll capture the boss of this zone will be capturable, and potentially 1 or 2 other things. Open this up because it doesn't have any modifiers. Don't worry about anything. Not that we'd be worried about anything at this level anyway. Open them up, get a little bit of... We're still taking these early on because later we'll be able to ignore them, but particularly because the Scrolls of Wisdom give you Pokeballs, we're taking these. There we go. Do another Haku quest. Maybe we'll get something different this time besides the one that just reses everything and makes your run back difficult. Oh, we can capture this. Cool. Nailed it. Got him. We can buy nets from him too, which is nice. So we'll be able to capture with a little more impunity here. Purchased. Oh wow, moving on up in the world. Bestiary Orb. Oh wow, I did not know that. Okay, so learning new things all the time. This league is awesome. So you can buy orbs to store a beast. Oh wow, they cost 1 chaos each. No wonder. So you could trade into people like rare beasts and stuff for their crafting requirements. That's really cool. This costs portal scrolls. I do believe I'll take a lot of them. I'm assuming if it's effective, I don't know if Bully Hunter is still here and can offer any insight, but if it says effective against beasts at levels 15 to 35, I would assume it's still effective, maybe even more so against beasts of lower level. It's just not effective against, like, if you get up to higher level beasts. I would that's how I would interpret that. I would assume it doesn't get worse against things that are lower level, but it very well could be. So I don't know if you'd need like a mix or if you just slowly upgrade to the best stuff. Purple packs all have, they're called, oh nuts. Purple packs of monsters all have, they're referred to as bloodline packs. I should capture this. Oh shoot, I didn't set it as my thing. I forgot I had to right click on these things. Alright. Yeah, purple monsters are, as opposed to stuff like this blue, they have bloodline mods, which are things that can do some really crazy stuff. I forget we gotta kill this thing first. It's not actually this thing. Yeah, there's no way it's not. You never know with this game, because sometimes they like to just get you. Okay, so this one is not the Resurrect mod, it's the Floor is Lava mod. Even then, I think we're just... I don't even think it would deal damage to us, really, if we got hit with one of these. Alright, let's get the heck out of here. I believe this will put us 1 Haku quest away from being able to get a hideout with him. I don't necessarily want to, because Haku's hideout kind of looks crappy. It's all based on the looks. The one I want is Elrion, but his quests are freaking insufferable. They're just timed quests. You just got to stand in a place and kill monsters and protect the stupid shrine for basically an hour. It's like 30 seconds, but it feels like an hour every time you do it. But his hideout is the coolest hideout. It's like a suspended library that floats, and there's like bookshelves and stuff, and I like to fill it with really creepy decorations. It's fun. All right, so we'll take solidity. Gives us damage, gives us defenses from our shield, gives us block chance. Cool. I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's do this. I don't think we actually ran into the boss of that zone. And of course it's like right here. Wow, I don't know what this mod is. What is this mod? Hedal dive. I thought it said halal dive. Alright, definitely didn't say that. There we go. Wow, I think we critted there pretty nicely. Nailed it. We gotta go visit the menagerie and like make some stuff. STC Matt B, were you here when we were fighting in the menagerie before, when we first like saw how this league worked? I'm not sure if you were in here before for that. But this league is freaking sweet. This league mechanic, this bestiary thing. Like I said, it's pretty much Pokemon, but done in a really cool way, where you get to skin the Pokemon and all that stuff. Alright, we'll kill these. I'm not really interested in capturing too many of these. Like, I don't want to... It's not that I don't want to capture these, it's that I don't really know how useful it is, how much of a late game thing it is versus a leveling item thing like the Essence League was, so I'm not going out of my way to do it right now because I also don't think we really need to. I will capture the heck out of this. Create a leveling item. Rare body armor with 3 resistances. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and capture the Sea Witch so we can get this thing. That's insane. Or at least it's good for leveling. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty fun. This is one right here. Or is it not? Apparently I just don't know what a Sea Witch is. It's like the 3rd time I've tried to capture a Sea Witch and just failed miserably. Recipe... Nope, I was right. That is a Sea Witch. Alright, we're going to get this now before this... This is like perfect timing because the final fight of the act is right here. So we're gonna go to the menagerie, we're gonna craft a rare body armor with 3 resistances. This thing's getting a little faster. We could also do the rare gloves, but I don't want to. That's what it feels like. It feels like adult Pokemon. Item level 13. What are these item levels? How do you, item level 14. Yeah, so this is a big upgrade over our item level 6 junk. Hopefully it's an armor item. It just says body armor, so it doesn't mean it's like an armor base. It just means that's the type of thing it is. Oh, wow. Hello there. The heck? That was more difficult than I wanted it to be. Armor and energy shield. It's... Jeez, that's garbage. That's like a 1/3 of the armor of the thing that we're currently wearing. Item level 13, my butt. Alright, cool. Well, we get to sell that. That was underwhelming. That's fine. Who doesn't? That's my question. This little EXP bump before we get in here and fight. I love it when shrines are put at the very end of the map. Like, here, you want this lightning thing for 4 seconds that can kill no one. Oh, we get to keep it in here. Oh, because this is an extension of the last... It's because this is an extension of the last zone. Holy crap. This isn't even a boss fight. This is just us just destroying this. Yeah, this is a massacre. We're way over leveled for this content. Is this supposed to be like a thing where you gotta kind of dodge the cones of water and all that kind of stuff? No, that was not pretty. All right, Act 2. Act 2. We got it. Let's do this. Start to... Yeah, there's a at least a better piece of gear than what we have on right now. Gives us some intelligence. Plus to level of minion gems. Not really super interested in minion gems, but I appreciate the offer. Oh, we gotta capture some of these guys. Pretty sure you toss a net on these guys and you look at them and they get captured. They have like negative 5 HP.
This one is captured. I will take it.
I would assume there's going to be some recipe that's going to involve these monkeys and like a high level one of these little gorilla guys. Chieftain.
This one is captured.
Alright. Level 16. Yeah, what is this zone even? This zone is level 30. Alright, we're done killing stuff. I got so far ahead when we were like doing game mechanics and all that kind of stuff. We'll kill rares just for potential loot drops, but yeah, we're not going to get any gear from stuff like this either because of where we are in the content. Alright, so we'll just keep going. We can just burst through some of this stuff, which is kind of nice. Alright, so we're at our second little town area. That's Groost. He's always in a bad mood. You get used to it. So I'm pretty sure everyone alludes to the fact that Groost is in a bad mood like all the time. Get nothing in our stash to help us out. Let's see. So this is interesting. So the game used to be when the game first came out, it was 3 acts. They added a 4th act, and then for the longest time it was like you would go through the difficulties. So the way that the difficulties would work would be you would go through normal acts 1 through 4, and then at the end of act 4, you would go to, oh my gosh, it's actually been, how has it been long enough since I played that I forgot the names of it? It's like normal. You would go up to the next difficulty, which I can't think of the name right now, which is annoying to me. And what it would do is you would restart the game in Act 1, and you would take a hit to your resistances. So you would start out with minus 20 to your resistances. And you would play through again, and then when you got through Act 4, you would restart the game one more time, and you would play through in Nightmare difficulty, which is when you get negative 60 to your resistances. I don't think we can capture, he's not capturable. That's unfortunate. Let's kill him anyway. You would go through the game at negative 60 to your resistances. That's a huge, it's a bigger deal than it sounds like. Like, your resistances are how you just mitigate almost all damage coming in. So those were huge hits. You would have to get to like because resistances are capped at 75. So that means you needed 135 in each category to cap. It's hard. And then from there, you would go to the end game, which is maps and boss, like there's certain boss fights and maps. Like this game has an outrageous, there's no game outside of WoW that has this much to do at the end game as this game. But that's how you would do. Then they upgraded to 3.0, which added 6 acts into the game and eliminated the looping of difficulty. So they added, like, it's got to be close to a record for how much content was added into a free-to-play game. They went from 4 acts to 10, and now at certain points in the story, things happen that lower your resistances. So you still get that resistance lowering effect, but it's spread throughout 10 full acts of content. And the idea being you play through all of the content one time, and then you are at the appropriate level to do maps. So it's a really nice system. The amount of content they added is just absurd. Like they just went like 150% increase to the game. It was nuts. This company's awesome. Alright. Soul Conduit, so everything you kill around him comes back when he's dead. It's nuts how much more was added. And like all the time they just add new skill gems. Like when they do like they add skill gems from time to time. Every few months they do a new league. Like this is the Bestiary League where you have, this is the Pokemon League. They add new uniques into the game that are specific to that league, and then sometimes they'll become part of the regular game. Sometimes they'll disappear, and you can only get them in specific types of maps and things like that. Like there is a lot. Where are we going from here on the skill tree? Well, first of all, we're not going to die to this stuff. Okay. I think we want to get to... Are there keystones we want to get to? Can't be evaded, never deal crits. I think we want to be able to crit. We're not going to go totem build. Hey. That's enough. That's enough. Iron Grip is not something we want. You can inflict bleeding on an enemy up to 8 times. That's not great. I don't really want blood magic. This is something that I want. Unwavering Stance. Cannot evade enemy attacks, but cannot be stunned. Stunned will kill you. You can mitigate damage, but being stunned will kill you. I think we're going to work our way down here, because we can also pick up... We can start to pick up the Life Leech, which is super important for staying alive. Yeah, we'll work on those. Okay. We have no charges. Got some stuff. Hey. It's always nice when you reach the point where you don't have to stop to pick up these super low tier pieces of crafting gear, but when you're just starting out in a league, it's kind of a necessity, because otherwise you can't buy stuff, you can't craft stuff. Alright, upgrade from medium straight to giant flask. That feels nice. So we're going to go figure out what we're going to do with the bandits. Act 2 has a bandit mechanic where there are these 3 bandits that are basically terrorizing that middle village, and you get to pick what you do with the bandits. So you can either help any of the 3 bandits by killing the other 2 bandits and returning them and saying, I'm on your side. They will then reward you with certain buffs to certain stats. Or you can choose to kill all of the bandits and return to that old man that was sitting on the ground in the town, and he will reward you with skill points for killing them. Alright, so, yeah. You used to have to do it every time you played through the game and would pick different things and they would change. Now it's like they offer a bunch of buffs, or I believe you get 2 skill points if you kill them all. So that's nice. That's another thing that's kind of nice that they streamlined. Took out a lot of the grindy parts of it. Haven't seen really any beast capture here. These are not beasts. They're not capturable. Alright. Excuse me. Kraitlin's little thing is coming up right here. Level 17. Flying through it. Bringer of Fragility. That is not a mod I'm worried about. Jeez. Bringer of Running Away. Thank you. How fast are we? We're getting there. We're getting there. It's almost a movement tool. Go down here for strength. What do you give?
I like that.
If I help Kraitlin, I will have increased attack and cast speed, dodge, and movement speed. That sounds fine, but being that it's hardcore mode, how about no? I love the AoE on this thing. It's just like you just attack him forever, and everyone else dies too. Nailed it.
Your death had more
Yeah, the fact that we have Ancestral Call on this and the melee splash, it just deals so much like incidental damage. We're not going to run all the way back through here. We'll take a portal back to town. 1 bandit down. 1 bandit down. Alright. He's the one we're going to talk to later. I guess you don't...
I have seen warriors in black.
I guess you don't get anything for 1. I don't know why I thought you did. You don't get anything for just 1 bandit. We're good on all of this stuff. Do you have a good chest piece? I mean, you could just upgrade this to like a little... Just because it has so much more armor than what we have on now. Let's give it a little bit of that. Sure. Works for me. Oh, I'm a moron. We can't even do that because we need the red sockets for stuff. Shield charge. We don't really need Ancestral Protector. I guess we just spent that money for nothing because I don't need that. Alright, so we're going to go here and then go north. We end up in the Chamber of Sins, which is where we need to get to little boss fight down there to advance the thing. Here we go. So this is where this is the throwback to my favorite league ever. This is the essence. This is an essence. So this monster has this essence inside of it, and basically essences are crafting materials. They kill this guy. The essence monsters can be kind of nasty, particularly when you get to the later game and they start to have multiple essences on them. They make them extremely tough to kill because the essences basically make the monster be able to do like special. They give them special abilities. They make them harder to kill. And a monster in the later game with like multiple essences on them, they can be terrifying, really, really difficult to kill. But they're worth it because they give you basically guided crafting, so you can pick. Yes, exactly. We're gonna. Holy crap! That thing is huge. Wow. All right, let's clear out everything so we can capture this thing. That is huge. I still think it's gonna die really quick. Kind of. Quick-ish. Oh my gosh. Please don't die. I'm being attacked by every bear. Whew. Wow. Alright. Well, that's a lot of gear. We captured the thing we wanted to capture. We'll take this orb. Apparently that was a big crafting guy because he's giving us a lot of recipes. There are a lot of recipes. I hope there's a good way to like sort them because I was seeing a ton of recipes earlier when we were getting stuff. I really hope there's a good way to sort them. So otherwise that's a big problem. Alright, take a jeweler's orb. Strat mitts we don't need. Ropes I'll take. Orbs of chance I'll take. Portal scroll. Okay. What do you got for me?
Years ago,
Nothing? Okay. I'll take this. Let's go up here. Looks like there might be another one of these monsters. Oh no, this is oh sick. Okay, so these are like Vol, I forget what they're called, Vol gateways or something like that. They're just they're side areas where you kill the monsters and there's a boss at the end of these. They're pretty short. You kill the monster at the end of it and it gives you. They can be really tough to kill, by the way. It looks like this might be the one. Yeah, the snake ones are freaking annoying. Captured. Okay. Depending on the boss, they can be pretty difficult to kill. But if you do that, you get a Val Gem. And Val Gems are skill gems that work on charges and basically charges through souls. The same way the flasks work. You charge them by killing things, and then they basically give you a crazy upgraded version of whatever skill gem it is. It is the freaking snake. So this thing can't be dealt damage unless you're like on top, like inside this little circle, which makes it really difficult. But we can capture it. Okay. Sweet. So we get, I'm guessing, a number of recipes from that because it's like a Vol thing. So we take this, we get Vol. Ooh, Vol Ground Slam's interesting. We're not going to use it, but it's interesting. Alright. Some of the Vol Gems are nice because you gain charges as you kill things, whether or not you use that specific gem to kill things. So there are builds that revolve around, or there are builds that are, I guess I would say, supplemented by Vol Gems, where you kill stuff with your main skill, and then you unleash the Vol Gem for just some kind of crazy bonus effect.
The empire was built by seeking minds.
My character expresses his discomfort with this place, as it is dark and creepy. Ooh, I can capture spiders. I'll do that. Seems good. Yeah. Well, we're still just crushing all the trash, which is good because you're supposed to do that. We should spend the skill gem to get down here. Now we're gonna get some life gain. We're just gonna be impossible to kill until much later on. Just kind of the goal. For anyone who didn't see, we are in the hardcore league. Tor's got cool quests. So Tora places a bunch of infected beasts on the map that have like greenish colors. There's nice that we found the exit. These things. So you'll go through and you'll kill. Oops, we can capture some of these. Cool.
You have been captured, beast. You will be a survivor, or you will be food.
Sapphire ring. That one will get captured.
First one's
So yeah, you go through and you kill the infected beasts in the area, and then usually they're not in consecutive rooms like that. It's kind of funny. That's a beast that does a version of Detonate Dead, it looks like. I warned about that earlier. They're terrifying. They just make explosions happen everywhere you go. I guess we killed something. We killed something we could have captured. That's fine. We still have more beasts to hunt down. This does point you to the beast, which is nice. It's really annoying when you get asked to kill something and they don't tell you where to look for it. Alright. Bunch of rares. No real gear. Okay. Nets I'll take. Come on. Give it to me. By the way, STC Matt, I am blaming you for the fact that the only thing that I have listened to or watched in the last like 4 days is that Wolfpack concert. My kids are obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with it. It's a problem. Like it's been on non-stop in our house. Particularly the half-hour session where Antoine is in the room singing. I've listened to it an unhealthy amount of times in the last 3 or 4 days. At one point, it was on repeat, and I listened to it for a good probably 4 hours straight. There's usually the zone boss is supposed to be in this room. We might have killed him accidentally because we just deal too much damage. He might have accidentally died. That's the thing that's been happening right now. Oh, it's just unreal. That's the thing. You weren't kidding when you were telling me about the mix. Oh my gosh. And I really want to see the Joe Dart Antoine tour. I couldn't believe that song. That entire song is just bass and vocals, and it's just the greatest. Yeah. Yeah, the one for... By the way, anyone watching, go to YouTube, type in this. Type in the number 1, and then the word for, F-O-R, and then the number 1 again, comma, and then write Joe DiMaggio, and go listen to the best song you'll ever hear. So we got to go through this area. This area is really rough. It can be rough if you can't kill things quick, because these sparks, when they shock you, which is the shock is the lightning status effect, and when you get shocked, you take increased damage. So when one of these shocks you, then you start taking increased damage from all the rest of the sparks going around. The damage that you take adds up really quickly, so you got to kill these things pretty quick. Anything in here? Greater Mana Flask is better than Large Mana Flask, so we'll swap that in. Dude, every time. Every time. I get real hyped too. All the kids do. We were listening to it at dinner tonight, and everyone just calmly stopped eating as he was being introduced. We put down our silverware, and then we just started dancing when he did.
Come to me, exile. Let us...
Okay. Kill all this. Jeez, this is so much lightning damage being thrown around. Lightning scares me because lightning is a thing where you don't necessarily always. If you're frozen, you know you're freaking frozen. You're sitting there frozen. If you're on fire or bleeding or taking poison, you know it from just the visual. But when you are shocked, it's not nearly as much of a visual thing, and you just start taking a ton of damage. Speaking of taking a ton of damage, this guy does a lot of damage. I guess we're super high health, so I guess we just don't care about anything right now. We are super high health. Alright, talk to her, meet her back in town. That's what we had to do in this area, so we are good there. Alright.
Return if you must.
We get the heralds. Okay, yeah, I forgot how these work. So, well, I didn't forget. I forgot which ones do which. Lightning damage to spells and attacks, cold damage to spells and attacks, and this one is if I shatter them, they explode. I think that's probably the one we're gonna take. Yeah. Okay. So we take Herald of Ice. We gotta figure out how to work this in now. All right, we're gonna dump currency because this is getting a little bit crazy. There is an essence tab that I can put that into. Is there a spot for that? No, there's not. All right. We'll keep nets over with us. We'll start dumping. We'll dump currency into the tab. Okay, we're gonna sell. I don't think I'll check out this cold ring. Intelligence, energy shield, some resistances, and it's probably better than just this base thing. I mean, it's definitely better than the base thing.
Hello.
Alright, we'll sell these 3. Don't need those. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Alright, we'll pop those back in here. You know what? The essence can stay in there for now. Got a bunch of different kinds of nets now. Alright, so skill points. We'll go here. We start doing some decent leech here. And then we still have absolute garbage gloves. So what do we do? I forgot to look at our essence. What does our essence do? Ooh. Crafts a... If we put it on a weapon, it gives physical attack damage. It gives attack, like, damage leech, which is really nice. If we put on armor, it gives life, which is also really nice. Let's see what he has, because we already have a really good weapon. But if I can get a pair of gloves that are decent... Which I... Level 9... No, those are still hybrid.
Travel far. There you went.
No decent gloves right now.
Go with courage.
If we can find some decent gloves to upgrade, we can upgrade the gloves to a rare, and that'll give us a bunch of life, and it'll give us a pair of rare gloves. So we'll be on the lookout for rare gloves. And we travel this. Oh, she talks to us. I wonder if she has anything. Nope, she's got bows. Makes sense. She's holding a bow. She sells bows. It's all coming together now. To the riverways. There's a bunch of beasts in here, including these guys. Man, everything is just melting. I think I'd rather have a life flask than a hybrid because mana's not really the issue right now. Alright. Flying through this stuff. We don't need to fight these. We'll fight monster, or we'll fight, not monster, magic packs. I think we do have 4 or 5 chromatics right now, so do that. This is another situation where Leap Slam is really nice because you can hop across passageways like this where you can't with the shield charge. Grab another scroll. Magic, guys. Alright. So we are trying to get to... I believe it's the southern forest. Ooh, I see something to capture. No! Dead end. And it's just casting stuff at us from across the bridge. That's super rude. Oh, this is the boss of the zone right here. Stop running away. Oh, okay. Bosses that make copies of themselves are the worst. The only way to know which copy is right is if they move, because if the copy runs away, like copies of things just stand and shoot or use skills or whatever. But if the copy moves, then that's how you know which one is like the thing to kill. Essence, nice. Is it the same essence we have in Essence of Greed? If so, that's pretty sick, because we can make that piece of leech gear and the life. It is. Wow, that's really good. It's a really good one to have. Like leeching for weapon or for early builds and life gear, all those things are good. Wow, I almost missed the capture because we deal so much damage. That's not... Seems a little misleading to call something an Iron Mask and then have it be evasion and energy shield. Seems wrong. Okay. I'm actually really low on nets, so let's kill these guys and buy some nets.
Hello.
These cause portals.
See you,
Cool. You can craft this. This is a good point. Let's visit. Let's visit. Let's find out. Let's find out. We're on this journey together. I don't know why I keep thinking when I just click enter the menagerie, it's gonna take me there, and then I just sit here being annoyed because I'm not anywhere. Okay, blood altar. We can craft. Okay, so specific stuff. Yeah, gloves that require strength, gloves that require intelligence. So I need. Okay, so I could do this now? Nice. So this is Putrid Flight and Raven Caller. So we'd be fighting two things that summon a bunch of things out of the sky to attack us. That seems like a thing. Oh, okay, so I can do specifically strength gloves with stuff too. So gloves that... Okay, this is kind of nice. Gloves that require strength, this does not mean necessarily armor gloves. This could mean any, like, this is not a dexterity weapon. It just requires dexterity. Like, so rolling rare strength gloves is better. I have no idea. I'm totally honest. I have no clue. So any rare creature with that specific mod, and then any rare creature with those. Okay, let's do this. Whoops. Pause and immediately die. Alright. Going to town. That was not a contest. So we had one that almost killed us, and three that we've just absolutely murdered. Those are not good gloves. Wow. Okay, so I haven't figured out like the level thing yet. Interesting. Oh, this does have create a unique, by the way. So that's a thing. What is this gargantuan? Oh, this was the Shaggy Claw, that massive bear. That was a disappointing craft. Yeah, I gotta figure this out because we've crafted two things that have not been good, and I don't know what we should be looking for. I don't even know if we should be using this. Okay, where are we going from here? We're going South Forest. Is it Southern Forest? Western Forest. That makes sense. I think it's Northern Forest, Western Forest. I don't think there is a Southern Forest. There might be. I might have just gotten it wrong. Guess. Alright, so there's two sides to this. If you follow the main road, one side of the road leads to like the spider's den, where we'll find the spike that we're looking for, and that kind of stuff. And then one leads to the next bandit, which is Alira. She's the one with Detonate Dead that we have to be real careful, because as we kill stuff, she can just start blowing people up beneath our feet. This looks like it's the way to Alira because we have some of her people, and I haven't seen any spider webs yet. That's kind of how you can tell. These guys that are super purple, they just walk up to you and explode. So you either have to like attack them, which stuns them, which prevents them from exploding for a second, or you just let them trigger themselves like this. You get close to them and let them do it and run away. or you just take a whole bunch of damage to your face. 'Cause why not? I prefer this method. It's the don't hit and run. Effective. Devastatingly effective. Yes, if we kill her, so mana regen, critical strike, and resistances. Nope, you're going down. That's a terrible reward. The only reward I would even want out of that are resistances, and I can literally spend 1 skill point on the tree and get the same amount of resistances, and at the very least, killing all the bandits gives multiple skill points, so I am not interested. Not interested at all. Nail it. And we got an alt. Marauder does not approve. Ow. Alright, we go down here. We have one more thing too. So we gotta, in this zone, we have to find the spider's den and kill the spider. And we have to go through here, kill this guy. And we unlock the path. So back when we were in Act 1, when we came out of the prison, and we ran all the way to the end of the thing, and then that piety lady ran through and like blocked the passage off. That's this passage. We were supposed to be able to just come right through here, but she blocks the passage off, so now we unlock it. And for doing that, we are going to get a skill point when we go back to town, so that's a pretty decent reward. Skill point rewards are the best rewards. And we get our first non-life, non-mana flask. We get the ruby flask, which is fire resist. I would like to find some spiders, please. Come on. Nothing. Alright. Spiders. There we go. That was easier than I anticipated it being. Normally it's just a weird convoluted way of getting through. Speaking of a weird convoluted maze, that's what this thing is. They drop on your head, they come from everywhere. STC Matt, you might need to look away for this part. Okay, so last stream on Tuesday, not joking, big ol' spider runs from like somewhere near my, not like on or even under my desk, but somewhere near my desk, runs like halfway across the floor, just to the point where I could see it, just to let me know it was right there, and just sat there for like 2 minutes. And I'm in the middle of a game of Hearthstone. I'm streaming. I'm staring like I spent a good. I wish I had the video to pop up there. I was streaming like this for about 5 minutes, just staring at the spider. And then right about when I was just about to be like, I'm gonna get up and go kill this and be right back, it ran away. So that was not great for my mental health. Glad I remembered it so I can freak out again. Okay, I am gonna drop a totem in case we get frozen. +3 chest level. Freezes me when activated? Well, it didn't, so that was a lie. Tricorn. The trick or treat. Alright, grab this guy, pop this in. We don't want that flask. And we already made it to the end. We took the right route at like every turn, which was impressive. Alright, here we go. I'm going to do this. Nice, we get more leech. And we get a nice terrifying noise that I forgot happened, so that definitely freaked me out. We're going to capture her, by the way. Like, for real. She pops up here once she gets to half health. Drops some spiders to play with. We're going to capture the crap out of her, though. Got it. Yeah, we should get a bunch of crafting recipes from this. Anytime you do like from what I saw, at least several crafting recipes. When you do like big bosses like that, it seems like you get way more, which makes a lot of sense. Alright, so we got the big one for her. We don't need anything more from the force. It's important to do her last after you do the unlock the chamber and kill Alira, because then you can safely go back to town once you have the item that you need. Yes. Yep. Probably in my ear. Probably. My ear's been itchy today, so probably. We get elemental damage with attacks, melee phys support. That's what we want right there. Melee physical support. On top of that, we go over here and we purchase the faster attacks that we were also offered, because faster attacks with shield charge is... Now we can get around the map. Now we can get around the map. Alright, so now we get to do some fun stuff. With skills too, we can start looking for 4 links. And the thing that I was talking about with the items, so this is where we start to look. I'm going to refresh the page because it's been like 3 hours. We're going to look, our level cap, I forgot what level we're at. What level are we at? 20. Level cap of 20 max. We're going to look for anything with 4 links, anything with 4 red links. I'm going to see if this item even exists yet. Okay. So there's plenty of items on the shop that are 4 links. And we have garbage, helmet, and gloves. I'd love to find a 4-link glove. Oh, there it is, but it's 1 chaos, so we can't afford that. Alright, we do have a jeweler, so we can grab that. This is the website that you use to kind of just find all your trades really quickly, really easily. I'm going to just whisper this guy, whisper, copy it, boom. Grab 1 jeweler orb if he accepts. It's kind of weird with these like low-level items, because sometimes they just don't accept, like, if it's been up for a while. Like, this is a very low-cost item. Sometimes it's just not even worth it for them to take the time to sell it if they put it up there a while ago and forgot about it. Like, he posted this 6 days ago, so there's a chance he just won't even respond. Which, if he doesn't, whatever. These are all only... We'll try one more. Can we try another one? Yeah, okay. Herald of Ice is another one we want to put on. We don't want this one, so I'll take this, put it in the stash before I think about it again. And we'll see what he offers too. Every once in a while, they'll just like randomly offer something that's just like incredible, and it's just really bizarre. Level 21. We're almost at level 21. Alright. Nothing with 4 links even. Okay. Well, what would we would want this on... We would want this with these 3, so yeah, we would want 4 reds. Does anything change if I go to 21? Let's just check real quick. Just trying to make sure we can get some theoretically decent gear. Okay. That's for much later in the game. That's not an item that we could equip right now. A lot of these are worth chaos. They're asking chaos for these, so we'll go to if you go to the bottom, it's the people that haven't listed a price. So sometimes you can grab stuff like this. It's real bad. Cone stuff like cone helmets. That would actually be decent because he's probably not really even asking much for it. That's eye level 82. Those are high. See, if they're unidentified, it's hard because you have to look at like the item level, because you might be getting something that's it looks that way because it's unidentified. We'll try to offer this guy 1 alchemy for that item. If he says no, we'll just move on, but it's good to know that we can start finding 4-link gear up here.
What do you want?
Does he have any gloves we can use? Wow, that is a lot of stuff. Okay. Energy shield, armor, evasion, and evasion. Yikes. We haven't been offered much good armor stuff yet. Alright, so we'll put this over here. We do need more dexterity to be able to do these things, so we'll start to look for the dexterity neck. She has strength and intelligence. That's the hybrid. I'll take a straight. Okay. Increased armor and cold resistance. Nice.
Be well.
I wholeheartedly accept. Okay. Yes. Let's look for... Shield charge is red? How did I not know that was red? I thought that was green, but that's fine. Ancestral Protector can go in here. So we need a red and a green. Because we want to put faster attacks on shield charge to be able to get around faster. So we take this over here, pop this not in there, not even a little bit in there. Pop this in the crafting thing, and we'll go like this. Chromatic, chromatic. Come on. Come on. Really? Really? There we go. That took way too many. Okay, so we got a red and a green. That's what we needed. We put shield charge in here. We put faster attacks in here. Now we can zoom around the map. Now we can turn on Herald Device. And we can start leveling. Ooh, and it even do more melee damage with that. Alright, so we want a 4-link eventually. 4-link red to put melee damage on our main skill. But we should also check and see what does the highest damage. So right now it's 119. If we put melee fizz in place of melee splash, it's much higher single target, which is kind of what I want because the Molten Strike takes care of the splash. Or the Ancestral Call takes care of the splash with Molten. So we'll put melee splash on the shield charge because then if we charge into a group, we can kill that group. We're going to go back to Lionize Watch because now that we open up the passage, we get a skill point. Big fan of skill points. Obviously, they're really good.
Farewell.
Talk to him. I believe it's Besta that gives us a skill point. Yep. Skill points. She just talks to us. Okay, we have this. Alright. Grab this guy. And one more point and we cannot be stunned anymore. Again, big fan. Go back to Act 2. We did not take the waypoint there, but it's fine. We didn't need it. I was going to say, that was real close to being a big oversight. Okay. We're going to head up here. You look for these two and then just kind of follow this little... I think you follow the path. Yeah, it leads you right over. Alright, so we'll go to the wetlands. The last bandit is here. We might... I gotta see... This is the one guy that I'm considering helping because I believe his buffs are all based on basically being a little tankier. Oh, let's check out our shield charge. Look at this. Yeah, now we can get around. And it does... Look at that splash. We just shield charge and kill people. That was awesome. Look at this. Oh, it's a little pool. We can't do that. Bam. Bam. Taste it. Alright, cool. That's enough fooling around. Tora. Okay. I'll do her. Her quests are pretty... Generally, not necessarily quickish, but they take you around the map. They get you to kill stuff. And they're not too bad. So there's the first group. If we go over here, these things will show us where the next group is. Oh. And maybe they're just like right next to us. No big deal. Alright, take these out. Wow, they have a lot of health. Resist elemental damage. Yeah. No kidding. Would have never known. Waypoint. So that's where we go after we deal with the bandit guy. It's nice to be able to shield charge into a group of enemies like that too and kind of do a bunch of damage to start out. Now we get the altar buff. Randomly run into her other group of things. And alright, so here's a beast we want to capture. Nailed it. Ooh, Artisan Strongbox, hello. bad. I'll take scraps. So these scraps, what we just saw, the armor scraps and the blacksmith whetstone, they are used for increasing the quality of items. So they make your items a little bit better, your weapons a little bit better. And again, they're just another currency that you can spend. Some people are looking for them to make their in-game items better. There are people that will buy them in massive stacks that I don't understand the reasoning of, but you know what? If you're going to take them, I'm going to sell them. Alright, so Oak wants to give us life regen, damage reduction, and global physical damage. I think we're going to take it. We'll help him, and we're done already.
Quite a rush to the head.
Look at that. We get all that. Yeah, that was really good. Okay, so that's solid. And we get a skill point. Boom! Cannot evade, cannot be stunned. I'll take it all day. No surprise deaths here. Thank you. Cool. Alright, so we're really well set up for the build, particularly for the defensive part of it. We can start looking to some more damage type stuff as we level and do all that to make the leveling process smooth, because we are a little lacking in the damage. Like, we don't die for anything, but it would be nice to do enough damage to keep it moving. Why not? I'll capture one of these. Seems really good. That little laugh kills me. His stinking little laugh. Alright. Yeah, so we did that. We're gonna go... I don't think we need to give anyone the apex yet. We're just gonna... No, we don't need to go back. Grab the tree roots that we pop open with the spike, I believe it was. What we got from the spider that we killed. Okay. Oops. Try not to knock over everything on the desk. And we're inside the first of these temple things. Looking for a room with a big orb in it. Oh, I haven't even turned on the herald yet. Okay, so... Space? Oh, nice. Alright, so this adds cold damage to our spells and attacks, which for some reason I wasn't doing before. If I shatter an enemy, so if they get hit with cold damage and it freezes them and they shatter, then they will also explode and deal a bunch of damage to enemies around them. For instance, it's already... There you go. See that shatter effect? It just destroyed all the rest of the snakes pretty much. Try to get the effect to happen again. So you can at least see it. There, that was one. They explode in this little ice thing. Now it does introduce the first time we've had mana reserve before. So this little mana right here, this amount reserved, generally buffs like this will have, see it says up top, 25% mana reserved. They permanently eat away a part of your mana, so you have less access to mana. Later in the game, it doesn't matter as much. There's things you can do to either leech mana or regen it really fast, or you just carry a mana flask with you, and you have them at such high levels that it regens really fast. But you'll see a lot of builds like endgame, especially like really optimized builds from like well-known people or just builds that are known to be really good. They'll have like almost all their mana regen because they really only need the amount that lets them use a skill once or twice, because it chains together and will take off like a whole room or something. So the further into the game you go, you'll just tend to see the more and more mana reserved route being taken. Yeah, when I connect with this thing, it deals a lot of damage. It does a lot of damage. I think did not want to die. Alright. these guys. So we are looking for. There's a route that we're going to take out where there's going to be just this floating orb that we're going to have to grab, and I'll just say not great stuff happens, but that's what we're looking for now. It's kind of on our way out. Through these guys before they chuck a bunch of fire at us. Get those. There we go. There we go. So this mod, if you ever see this little floating thing, this means that the enemies that surround this rare, if you notice, can't be killed until the rare dies. Depending on how the minions that are surrounding the monster and what the monster is, depending on how those stack up, that can be extremely difficult. That can be incredibly dangerous later in the game. Just can make certain combinations that deal high damage or something like that. Basically unable to die, and it can be really difficult. You can get a lot of deaths that way. Here we go. Alright, so we grab this ancient seal. Everything goes crazy because we upset it. Go out here, hit the northern forest up, and we've got about 2 little areas that we're going to go through before we're going to hit the final boss of this act. Quicksilver flask and an alk. That was not a bad haul. So that ignited us. We take fire damage. I will say it's a little bit of a letdown that we've been playing for 3 hours and we found 1 unique item. That seems incredibly low. Obviously, just starting out, you see less when you're at lower levels. We're going to head back to town here. Alright, so we've reached the point where basically the whole world right now is covered in darkness because of us, because we tipped that ball over in the temple. We got to fix that. They are all very upset with us. If you go around talking to the individual characters, you see that they are very upset with you. We have this skill point, which we will figure out later. That's going to do it for tonight. We'll pick up here the next time we stream, hopefully at some point this weekend. Tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday at some point, maybe multiple times if we're lucky. And we'll get that Act 2 boss out of the way and continue on from there. So thank you very much for joining us. If you enjoyed the stream, toss me a follow, maybe even subscribe if you feel like it. Greatly appreciate all of the support, and I will see you next time. Have a great night, everyone.